Okay, hey, you know what? There it is. Jerry Jones, of course, the owner of the Cowboys, going over to greet Mark Davis. A little owner hug there.
I feel like a misconception people have about substance abuse is that you can just stop when you want to. You know, I suffer from the disease of addiction, so it's like you live with that disease and you have to find different ways to live your life that doesn't inflame that disease. It's not just about the willpower to stop. It's much deeper than that.
Anyone struggling with mental health or that doesn't feel themselves, to ask for help is the answer. It's okay to not be okay.
Share what's really on your mind with people that you're with on Thanksgiving Day, and I promise you're gonna feel a little bit freer for doing that.
Good energy. They're gonna be wild today, I already know.
My teammates help me day in and day out, whether they know it or not, and I'm very thankful for the way that they make me feel.
Best version of ourselves, let's go.
I feel like it'll be special to play on the holiday and to play against the Cowboys, which is the tradition they have of playing on Thanksgiving.
Let's go.
Happy Thanksgiving. Let's go Raiders.
Go be the best right now. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Let's go, Cowboys.
And here come the Cowboys off that wonderful tease by our own Justin Haley, capturing the vibe of this holiday of acceptance and love and compassion and, of course, gratitude on this great American holiday. The Raiders and the Cowboys coming up here on CBS. And hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Tony Romo and Tracy Wilson. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Thank you for allowing us in your homes on this special day. Happy Thanksgiving to you, partner, to you, Candace, and all the boys, to Hawk and Rivers and little Jonesy. Great to be with you again on Thanksgiving.
It's all my thank you for having me here with you. This is a big one today, and I want to say thank you for allowing your family over here who's right next to us. You got Courtney and the kids. A special day for all of us.
It's great, and we've got a good game for you too, folks. It's a meaningful game on each side. They have struggled in November. The Raiders have lost 3 in a row. The Cowboys have lost 2 of the last 3, but they've got reasons they both need this game.
It is. It's that time of year. We always talk about football. It's like it really starts after Thanksgiving. It starts on Thanksgiving today. And the Cowboys, they have a chance at that #1 seed. They're right there. They have the ability to get it. But games like this are going to be the reason it actually happens.
And the Raiders, that West division for them, it's still wide open at 5-5. They're still in the picture for sure. Here is Dak Prescott. I mentioned they've struggled here in November. They didn't even score a touchdown last week up at Kansas City. What's been the story with Prescott and the Cowboys and expectations for today?
Well, as the season goes on, teams start to get a little bit of a beat on what you're doing, so the schemes change, and what happens is you got to start to change with it. I think you'll see that develop at the second part of the season.
Meantime, on the other side, well, you got Derek Carr, the other number 4 on this field. What a start to the season he had, but this offense has sputtered here lately.
They have, and you know, we're going to talk about it. It's well documented, some of the changes that have taken place, but Derek Carr is playing some really great football at times. They just need to be better on third down, but he has to make special plays for this team to win today.
Full house in Arlington. Cowboys today without C.D. Lamb. He did not pass the concussion protocol on time, Tony.
Well, that's going to be a big one, too, because 2 of the last 3 games when they lost Jim, a lot of tight coverage and man-to-man, so we're going to find out very early if they're going to be able to handle it without him.
Now, you ready to rumble, partner? Here is Michael Buffer to get it started.
Ready. The players are ready. Cowboy fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble!
All right, I'm ready now. And let's send it down to the sideline. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Tracy, to you and David and the boys.
Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Both of these quarterbacks just so grateful to be out here today playing on Thanksgiving. We spoke with Dak Prescott this week. He talked about having to watch from afar because of that ankle injury last year. Just so appreciative to be back. And Derek Carr, he talked about how he grew up a Cowboys fan watching this game on Thanksgiving Day. Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and Deion Sanders. He said to have that opportunity is a dream come true. Both of these quarterbacks need a bounce-back performance. We'll see which one could come back out on top, guys.
That's true. Bounce back. That's a good way of looking at it. Both of them slumping of late. The Cowboys will be receiving the kick as the Raiders deferred at the top. And Daniel Carlson has it on the tee, ready to send it down to Tony Pollard. we go. Happy Thanksgiving as we are underway with Raiders and Cowboys and a touchback, and we'll bring out Dak Prescott. Again, the offense kept out of the end zone last Sunday at Kansas City, but it is the NFL's #1 scoring offense overall in the season.
Well, you find out really quickly with this team, when healthy, everyone, they can beat you with the run, the pass, inside, outside. They have it all, right? But it's been really impressive to watch the two defenses, and we're going to explain as this game goes on, Jim. There might be a little formula that's going to have to make the Cowboys change a little bit.
Also without Amari Cooper today, they go with Zeke Elliott, who actually looked to stumble for a moment, and Zeke picks up 4. Now, here's an important note. We talked about no Lamb and no Cooper, but they do have Tyron Smith back at left tackle. He's been out the last 3 games with an ankle.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, you look at this team, whenever Tyron Smith is in there, it seems as though everything just looks easier and usually plays out that way. And that's an extra half a second in the pocket, an extra gap for the running back.
And they give it to Zeke again. This time they're on him quickly. That was Ngakoue with the quick hit and drops him down after a gain of a yard. Here's Gus Bradley's defense.
And this, Jim, this is literally the strength of this team. You've got to have a plan. As soon as you turn the tape on, you're like, uh-oh, wow, these guys leap off the page. Rod Marinelli did a great job with this defensive front. And if you can stop them from hitting the quarterback and making plays like they just did, you win the game. But if they get off early, the game is usually long in the opposing quarterbacking team.
Chance to force a quick 3 and out. 3rd and 4 for Dallas. From the pocket, protected. And the big stick. What a tackle. Jonathan Abram able to come up and make the play as Elliott made the catch. And that's, in fact, what the Raiders defense is able to do, make the immediate stop on 3 plays.
It's good pass protection. Dak checks it down, but you see Abram, who leads all defensive backs this year in tackles, come flying in, and you see his speed and aggressiveness. Outstanding job by Las Vegas right there to start the game with a 3 and out.
So the Raider defense stepping up to start this game after deciding to defer at the top, and that decision paid off. Anger punts for the Cowboys, and it's a good one. Booming kick inside the 10 to Renfro. Slips through a tackle. He's up to the 20. Looking at an angle all the way out to the 30. That's a run back of 20-plus yards for Renfro. His longest of the season, 22-yard return off the 60-yard punt.
He ran 60 yards, 22 yards.
Great effort. He's a big part of this offense. Derek Carr, of course, engineers it. He went over 3,000 yards on the season last week for the 8th consecutive year. That's only happened now 4 times. The quarterback in his first 8 years throwing for 3,000 yards every season. The others, Peyton Manning, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson. Elite company.
Yes. They're going to need him to be elite today, Jim, because this is a tough task for this offensive unit.
Here's Jacobs. Jacobs trying to cut outside with a stiff arm on Diggs. He's got 2, maybe 3. So this Raiders offense is interesting, Tony. They came out on first down. They had Deshaun Jackson at the top looking to try to take the top off the defense. They, of course, these last 3 games have put up just 16, 14, and 13 points.
Ugh. Definitely not up to the standard at the start of the year. Their play action's way down, so the empty stuff, we're going to tell you this game goes on. Right now, though, they just need to get 2 first downs, get out of this hole, and use the field position.
2nd and 7. That's there in time for Waller. Diggs almost jumped in front, got another pick. Diggs, who's had a sensational season, saw it coming, but the pass had enough zip on it to get to Waller for the first down gain of 12.
Great throw. This is Diggs. He's a ball-hawking corner, but you see, that's a tight end. You wouldn't normally say, hey, we're going to go ahead and take him on one-on-one. As you see Parsons having an outstanding rookie of the year type of level. Ooh. He's the favorite right now.
He's having a defensive player of the year.
Yeah, he's actually getting closer every game to that.
He had 12 pressures last week on Patrick Mahomes. Here's a first down pass play. Down the middle they go, and it's there. That's Deshaun Jackson tiptoeing for the touchdown. They look down the sideline, and they say he did not step out. It's 56 yards and a touchdown for the Raiders.
He almost pulled a Bo Jackson and just took off down the tunnel. For Raider fans, they know what that's all about. The protection in the pocket, unbelievable. You're going to see just a straight deep over. Carr does a great job sliding in the pocket and firing. And this is the one thing. They give up big plays sometimes. These corners, that's Jordan Lewis that time, but you know, for all the aggressiveness in this secondary, every once in a while you see a big play happen on a double move, but that's just Jackson's speed and Carr's throwing accuracy.
Just picked up Jackson a couple of weeks ago. And boy, does he make a difference. I mentioned he had come out and started this game today, which is not what everybody expected. And he comes in on the 4th play and takes it 56 yards. And it's confirmed that he did not step out. So now the extra point for Carlson. Just 3 plays, 71 yards. The Raiders to the end zone, and they've got a quick 7. Well, when you've been sputtering, that's one way to get out of the doldrums.
You're exactly right. Big plays have a way of getting you out of it, Jim.
You might not have expected this, but Derek has more 20-plus yard completions than any quarterback in the league this year. That was his 53rd. Tom Brady has 44. Carr adds another one, and it goes for a touchdown to Jackson.
Well, that's, you're going to see right when we show you this all 22 look, Jim. They just dice up teams with great route selection. In other words, they get to the right route versus man-to-man, and they did on this specific play. But you need time sometimes to throw the ball down the field, and on this specific one, there's man-to-man. Jackson's one-on-one, and you see halfway up there, you need time. Carr has time, so he can throw this ball all the way across the field and just put it over the top of Lewis's hand, and you see that's the speed. But this team, Derek Carr, destroys man-to-man. That's why they have 8 touchdowns this year, almost 10 yards an attempt, and that's what the Cowboys play. That's going to be interesting as this game moves along.
Here's Pollard. He gives them some big playability out of the backfield. He's got a gain of 6. Let's get the Romo report when Dallas possesses the football.
The Romo report, back to basics. In other words, run the football if you're the Dallas Cowboys, because this team, if they get run on early, they can't use that defensive front to pass rush over and over again and make it difficult on the opposing quarterback. So get the ball to Zeke different ways. Handoff, play action, handoff, handoff.
Handoff it is. Handoff it is, and he moves the pile for a first down, but we do have a marker on the field. Sean Hockley is the leader of this crew.
Well, this is where you can't keep handing off if you get holds, because now all of a sudden you're behind the chains.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense number 90. This 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
It's a big call right there. It allows you to keep. Everyone always says, hey, you got to run the ball and everything. It's like penalties kill. You see 90 right here. He's putting his hand right up in Zach Martin's helmet. You can't do that.
Nope.
Doesn't feel very nice.
It's not in the spirit of the holiday.
Hey, stop it, said Zach.
Noah Brown's onto the field as an extra receiver, and there's a completion to Brown down to the Raider 43-yard line. So you got no Cooper and you got no Lamb. You're going to have to rely on guys like Noah Brown today to step up, and he does right here for a gain of 15.
Well, you're going to see Boom come flying in, but watch the corner outside. As he's right there, see him bail? That's what wasn't happening. Denver, Kansas City, they got their hands on these receivers and made it really physical at the line of scrimmage.
Elliott is driving a defender, Hayward, back for an extra 2 or 3 yards. And it's a great first down carry. Pickup of about 8 or 9.
And this is one way to attack this defensive philosophy. So Rod Marinelli's defensive philosophy, Jim, they attack the quarterback in their gap, and they go right to him, and they hit the running back on the way by. Well, one way to attack that is let him go upfield and crack him from the outside, have someone hit a guy, and then run outside.
2nd and 2. That's Pollard. Stacked up, pushed back by K.J. Wright, and they'll mark him short. We're going to have a 3rd and about a foot to go.
It's an outstanding job by K.J. Wright, throwing the tight end, then come flying in and standing up Pollard.
Pollard will be the back here on 3rd down, 3rd and 1. It's a full yard to go. And he's going to follow a blocker up ahead for the first down. Running behind the likes of Dalton Schultz, the tight end. And the Cowboys move the chains, trying to counter a quick strike by the Raiders in this game. Cedric Wilson, number 1. He might be a favorite target today. Michael Gallup. Those are guys who are going to step up today with the starters out.
Purple 20! Purple 20! Everybody jump there! Jump there! Free!
Play action and rolling out with it. He's got his man. It is Cedric Wilson. And the Cowboys will operate inside the 20 with a first down. A gain of 17.
Well, it's a bootleg. And you see, here comes 94 come flying at you, Nassib. But watch this route. He comes across, and 42 looks him up. And Littleton just gets lost, and he doesn't realize Dak had that much time. And you got yourself another big play by the Cowboys.
Cowboys 3 and out on their first drive. They picked up 5 first downs on this drive. Pollard takes the direct snap. And he bounces around to the 10.
Some success last week. Pollard last week gets a snap in Kansas City and creates one of the first big plays. Dak was out wide, pretend to fake reverse. This package is just developing and developing every game.
Look what he's done without starting. Over 500 yards now rushing on the season.
One of the best 1-2 punches in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Zeke's foot's a little banged up. You know, this time of year, Howard might get a few more touches today.
2nd and 5. Lofton the ball. And into the end zone is McKeon for a Cowboy touchdown.
Well, we talked about it a little bit ago, Jim. You use the leverage of these guys. They run full go, all-out speed on the defensive linemen as they're going to the quarterback. You use their leverage against them. So you see everyone go this way, quarterback bootlegs back the other way, and teams who run and go really hard, you can use their leverage against you. Cowboys did that 2 or 3 times on that drive.
Second-year tight end out of Michigan. With Blake Jarwin on injured reserve, they needed a complimentary tight end to Dalton Schultz, and they found one with McKeon from 10 yards out. Extra point, no good. Zerline unable to hit it. His 3rd missed point after on the season.
That'll never come back to haunt you at the end of this game. It never does it?
We'll be talking about it, no doubt, in the second half. Touchdown Cowboys, 7-6 Raiders. First career touchdown it is for McKeon. And the Cowboys kick off. Just halfway through this first quarter, and quite an explosive start it has been. These teams were looking for it too, because again, offensively, November hasn't been kind to them. Raiders have dropped their last 3. Going into week 8, they were at 5-2, and they led the AFC West. Now at 5-5. Cowboys 1-2, and they've lost the 2 losses inside the AFC West, where the Raiders reside. The Broncos came in here and pushed them around, and then the Chiefs last week beat them 19-9.
Yeah, it's just part of the season, though, in the NFL. It's like no one's going to play every game perfect. After Denver, it's like, okay, you can have a hiccup for the Cowboys, but then Kansas City happens, it's like, uh-oh. But teams adjust. Now it's your turn to adjust after you have a game or 2 like that.
Handoff, start the drive. Jacobs. Gain of 2, brought down by Tristan Hill. Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, doing a fine job. Here's their defensive lineup. They've got playmakers on this defense, Tony.
Oh, they do, and all over the place, really, at all 3 levels, and they got people hurt, right? I mean, Lawrence is out.
Gonna be back soon.
Yeah, and they're gonna keep getting healthier as the season goes on. Randy Gregory.
He'll be back soon. And you got Parsons, you got Diggs.
I mean, each level, and Dan Quinn is a great coordinator.
2nd and 8. Again, pass with some zip, and it's fumbled, heading out of bounds, and tossed back into save it at the last moment.
No way.
To Curse. That was Neal, who was able to keep it in play after the Waller fumble.
If this is in, which I think it is,
this is not even something you practice like this.
This is an unbelievable play. This is in, Jim. Look at that. Oh my goodness, this is going to be the Cowboys ball, and Neal gets the game ball already for me tomorrow going in for this team. That's unbelievable awareness.
Is it a catch? Is that going to be looked at? Of course, everything is going to be looked at on a turnover. So this is no doubt, that's clean, and that you got to put him on special teams now. Let him go down there and down some punts.
I agree with you. That's the best.
But it wasn't a catch.
Curse pops this out. He's playing great. Let's see. Makes a football move. Oh. So you got to catch the ball, right? At possession, make a football move, they call it. So really, it's like, does it look like a football move? Boom. Oof.
It's close.
I could see it going either way. And if they called it that it is, it probably will stand. If they call
ruling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Oh.
This is where I said that call right there is very big.
Please reset the clock to 7:03.
It's probably some obscure rule we're just not figuring out yet. I don't know.
I mean, McCarthy was looking up at the 60-yard screen and decided not to challenge it, so it's in the books now. Incomplete. 3rd and 8. Carr straddling the scrimmage line, shaking off a hit, and reaches out to avoid what would be a sack, so it's not anywhere close to the first down, but gives him a gain of 1.
I mean, how good is your secondary playing for a quarterback to have? I bet you he had 10 full seconds, and everyone was plastered across the field. Carr misses the corner route starting off, I thought, but
looked like they were going to give him a gain of 1, but instead they say no gain, so it will be in the books as a sack for the Cowboy defense.
That's what they say, plaster, for like a running quarterback, right? You have to plaster your guy, stay with him the whole time the quarterback moves. Carr's not known for that necessarily, but great job by Cowboys there.
Here's A.J. Cole, who averages 51 yards a punt. Look at this one. Takes Wilson back to the 8. Over the shoulder catch was impressive. Now trying to get outside, and he will not. Whew, what a tackle that was, too. Bringing him down was Furl.
70 yards, maybe?
68 yards it would be.
Goodness, what a punt.
How about a D lineman down there? That was impressive by Cleveland Furl on the tackle after a monster punt.
Hey, I'm Hunter Renfro, and on behalf of my wife Camilla, my daughter Collins, and the entire Las Vegas Raiders organization, we would like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Well done, Hunter, Camilla, and your adorable Collins. Thank you for that greeting, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Cowboys now 3rd possession, taken over at the 7. Each team with 1 touchdown drive and 1 series that was 3 and out. Elliott. He's got 2, and we go to Tracy.
Well, Jim, the Cowboys already without Amari Cooper because of COVID, and then they were without their assistant strength coach, Cedric Smith, as well because of COVID. And then this morning they found out they're without another assistant strength coach on the COVID protocol list. And then their offensive line coach, Joe Philbin, is out as well. That means that their assistant offensive line coach, Jeff Blasco, came down from the coach's box. The Raiders also dealing with some COVID issues. The NFL telling us they are going to tighten up protocols after this week during Thanksgiving, guys.
Thanks, Tracy. Here's Prescott's pass, just a little out of reach for Cedric Wilson.
Well, just a little high. Cedric Wilson was open on this play. And this is what has come up a little bit. The man-to-man coverage. See, that balls need to be out in front. Dak he's had a great year. He's playing well, but the games where they, aren't playing well through 3 quarters, 2 of the last 3, just the throw here or there that's missed, and then all of a sudden the receiver drops the ball there, a penalty there, and all of a sudden you get behind against good teams, and that's kind of what the difference has been. Teams have gotten up and played man tight with them and made these contested throws.
That was his first incompletion after hitting his first 5.
False start. Offense number 63. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. It's still 3rd down.
Okay, now the Raiders will be ready to tee off and see what they can do with the likes of Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue. They've got 2 guys that can bring it to the quarterback.
Well, right here, you see outside, these defensive ends, you've got to have a plan. You got to chip them. They did with the defensive end there.
From the end zone on 3rd and 13, all kinds of time, and it's incomplete. Too low. Finally, Solomon Thomas provided the pressure that forced Dak to get rid of it. Now the Cowboys will punt out of their own end zone.
And you're a little hurried, Dak, there. I mean, he had time, but you do feel rushed when you're in the end zone because you can't necessarily see what's on your right side. So he gets the ball out of his hands a touch sooner than if he was in the middle of the field.
We just heard the Thanksgiving greeting from Hunter Renfrow. There he is waiting for the punt at the 50-yard line. Ryan Anger, second in the NFL in net average. Good boot. And the Cowboys got to be pleased with what he did there. Driving them all the way back to the 40. 56-yard punt. Still 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. 7-6. Raiders on top. Cowboys and the Salvation Army, a great relationship through the years, making a difference. And we've got movement and a flag.
Should be a defensive penalty.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 11. This is a 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
1st and 5 for Las Vegas.
Okay, Kenny. Stay here for the South Park fans. Hey, Kyle.
Carr. Renfrow tried his best to get untangled. Those two were battling, and it falls incomplete. Hooker on the coverage. Went ahead and took a shot on 1st and 5, and we're back down to Tracy.
Well, Jim, Darren Waller just ran out on the field, but he missed that first play. He was in the blue 10 for a while. They were working on his back. They were listing him as questionable. As you see, he's back out here, but certainly something to watch.
Such a valuable part of what the Raiders try to do.
Well, yeah, especially all the man coverage that Dallas plays. It's strength on strength. We told you on the one touchdown to Jackson, this team's great against man-to-man. This team plays it really good. We're going to see what happens.
2nd and 5. They got about halfway there. Jacobs. We got another penalty flag at the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense number 68. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
Called on the center. Andre James.
Well, you see 68. He's going to be pushing down 99. Hamilton there. I didn't see much there. As a Cowboy fan, you're like, I saw all of it. Raiders are like, this is crazy.
2nd and 15. They had a 1st and 5 to work with. Now they're backed up a bit to the 35. Rush 4. They get Renfrow for a pickup of 5. Renfrow with 57 catches now on the season.
Yeah, they got 2 security blankets. Really Waller, but he goes everywhere and does everything. Renfro's a really good player. Got a little bit of that Edelman mold in him.
Yep.
But finds those soft spots. They got to get him back down the field a little bit. You saw the ball down the sideline earlier that the Cowboys didn't allow.
Richard is the running back, flanking Carr on 3rd and 10.
See, here's Waller right here. This matchup. I don't think you should be the only one covering him. Someone should come down. That safety better get down there.
Carr over the head. Oh, and he got a flag. Trying to hit Edwards. Got shoved in the back, Anthony Brown.
Pass interference. Defense number 30. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
A lot of man, you get some holding penalties. You see Anthony Brown, Edwards not targeted last week, which is not, that is a penalty. This guy's on the outside, but if you watch, I just talked to you here. Watch Waller right here. Go up. He's going to have an option route, and he's wide open. Derek Carr throws the other side of the field. But if they pressure you, throw the ball to Waller. He's one-on-one. It's an easy game, though.
You like that matchup all day long.
Against anyone.
11-yard penalty. And it's Renfrow getting the handoff. Not much there, just a couple. As Golston held down that side of the line. It's interesting hearing Derek Carr lamenting how they had lost last week to Cincinnati and saying no one's coming to save us, so we better figure it out. And you know, he goes on to talk about how he's been a Raider fan most of his life, 20 years, he says, and this is enough. I'm fed up, wanting to turn things around today.
Well, here's one way to do it. See the empty formation, nobody in the backfield. They've gone early in the year, did it a bunch. They're last in the league in the last 4 or 5 weeks. I like this.
2nd and 8. We're down the sideline. And Waller was in the area.
Waller was in the area, but the ball wasn't in his area.
Right.
That was a missed throw right there. 4 verticals. By the time he gets his head around on Curse, could never find the ball. Big 3rd and 8 right in this area of the field, right? You have 2 downs, I believe. You could tell your quarterback, hey, check it down. We can go for it on 4th and 2 or 3.
Cowboys blitzing. Carr unloads. Got the first down to the 35. Ryan Edwards keeps the drive moving for Las Vegas.
Big time pressure all out, which the Raiders, you see everyone blitzing here. And Derek Carr does a great job against all out pressure and pressure in general. Anthony Brown has to cover the whole field. And Carr takes the easy throw underneath, as you should there. But this team is incredible against pressure. I mean, I wouldn't be sending all-out pressure on 3rd and 8. They slice it up.
So they convert on 3rd down that time after converting on 3rd down via penalty before that. And now Carr. And who else but Parsons chasing after him and forcing the throw away.
And you see his speed, right? His ability to change direction. What a draft pick by Will McClay, the Jones family. This is going to be a special player for a long time. He plays inside, plays outside. He's the defensive rookie of the year. I already said it, Jim. End of story.
By the way, he's tied with DeMarcus Ware for the Cowboy rookie record of sacks in a season with 8. Ware's rookie season was 05, so the next one, he'll own it alone.
Jim, he's an inside linebacker when they drafted him.
No, he's played defensive end a lot with some of the injuries that they've incurred, and there is Diggs.
It almost reminds me of like the high school guy who's just like better than everyone. It's like, where should we put him? He can play any position.
And make
just like when you were in high school. Remember what they did with you?
Yeah, absolutely dominating everywhere.
Like the linebacker. Quarterback this week for Mr. Nance. We need him, though.
Oh, I wish.
And Jameson will.
He will.
Big play here.
3rd down and 6.
I wouldn't pressure all out. They probably will. But if you do, this guy right here, 83, if you don't have him doubled with him, he's getting the ball.
Carr's looking at him. Then he's going to go long. Going to air it out to the end zone, and it's knocked down. Flag is thrown. Flag is thrown at the 5-yard line. Going back to Deshaun Jackson again. Brown ended up with the football in his hands. And Mike McCarthy can only shake his head.
Pass
Another penalty.
Defense number 30. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. 1st down.
That's 2 DPIs on Brown on this drive. There he is. Locked arms with Jackson.
Yeah, he's got that. Now watch this right here. I just told you, if this guy gets double teamed, he comes down, you have one-on-one, that whole side of the field. Safety goes there. Derek Carr does a great job saying, we have that whole field there. Brown's got to cover it, and they've done a decent job this year, but sometimes they give up big plays and all that man coverage.
At the 1, 2 tight ends. Jackson in a slot to the left. They'll go Jacobs, and he'll go in virtually untouched for the touchdown.
Great decision, play calls on that drive by Raiders. Anthony Brown with his first 2 penalties this year, but the other guys have had a few. He's done a good job, but that hurts you. Can't happen. And just a simple walk-in. Great blocking up front.
Got the 30-yard penalty that totals for the drive 46 Dallas penalty yards.
Doesn't this feel like it's the middle of the second quarter?
I know, it was still in the first. John Simpson, who was, by the way, on the injury list all week with a rib injury, up today and threw a big block right there. That's who Jacobs was able to go in, run right behind, thanks to Simpson.
You're right.
Carlson with the extra point. Makes it 14-6. Vegas in the first quarter. On behalf of everybody at CBS, from our chairman, Sean McManus, and our president, David Burson, to the 140 proud members of this broadcast crew are, well, considered an honor to present his Thanksgiving tradition to you today. Welcome back here to Arlington as the Cowboys will run it out with Pollard tripped up and only getting to about the 18-yard line. These Raiders are fired up here in this first quarter. And let's take a look at next-gen stats powered by AWS.
This Dallas Cowboy offense throws a ton at you. In this specific one, 4 guys on one side of the ball, Kellen Moore. But guess what? One of them's an offensive lineman. They catch teams by surprise over and over again. And if you're not prepared and you don't get up and press, you're going to be in trouble.
How about that formation?
They
Putting a guard out there.
They've hurt teams over and over again. They've already done it today. And you're going to see it over and over the rest of the year.
There's Elliott banging around, picks up 1. That's it. Faison on the tackle.
And what happens is you get one guy on the other side. So you got like Cooper or Lamb, and you're like, okay, you're going to play one-on-one over there? Oh, you're going to put a second guy? You're looking at one of the best minds in the NFL, Kellen Moore right there. And you put the tape on, he puts his team in such a good situation so often. It's really impressive to watch.
4th year on the Dallas staff. As he told us this week, 10th straight year he's been involved in a Thanksgiving Day game because he was a backup at Detroit during that span for a couple of years. And there's Prescott over the head of Gallup. Oh, we do have a flag coming in on that back end of that. Dak agrees with what he saw.
Catchable, not catchable. Let's see. Because if it's holding, it doesn't matter. It's pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 35. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
I think you raise a fair point. Was it catchable? Was it catchable?
They said it was. So this is what teams have done, though. You see the heavy hands, 35. The Chiefs and he's facing there. Let's see if that's catchable. He'd have to be Michael Jordan in his prime, maybe.
You bring back Ed Too Tall Jones.
It's a tough call. Yeah, exactly. That's too tall. But see how aggressive they were, Jim, at the line of scrimmage, the defensive back facing.
There's Pollard breaking free into the secondary and across the 50. Ripping off a big run, Tony Pollard.
Well,
got a penalty back in the offensive backfield. That was a 32-yard run.
Holding. Offense number 63.
That's a
10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
A lot of flags in this first quarter.
And that's going to be on Biadasz, 63 right there. You saw him say it's a center. And that's such a big call. Watch the center, 63. Here's the hold right there, they said, maybe. Not seeing a whole lot there, Jim. Yep. Hankins.
Back at the 15 now. The Cowboys hit it to Schultz for a quick 10 to the 25.
So I think the Cowboys are going to have to get the ball, run the football, play action. Mike McCarthy knows he's been around a long time. But they got to take shots downfield, Jim, because I think that's really what's happened, is that the teams they struggled against have got up in the face and said, you can't beat us on slants and little stuff. I'm not giving you free releases anymore. We're going to press you. Now, this is tough because this team doesn't do it a ton for the Raiders.
That's the end of the quarter. They do not snap it on this side of the first 15. That's the end of the first quarter. We'll be back after this from Chipotle. We're back at AT&T Stadium, which opened in 2009. The first touchdown on the board. A familiar duo, Romo to Witten, back in 09.
I've heard of those guys.
They say they were pretty good.
Yeah, one of them was overrated. I think that was number 9. The 82 is pretty good.
2nd and 10 at Sales just passed. In the hands of Noah Brown. And Tracy, what do you have?
Well, Jim, we talked about offensive line coach Joe Philbin being out because of COVID protocols. Well, it's interesting to note that they are rotating linemen every series. We started with Terrence Steele at right tackle, then La'el Collins went in, now it's Steele again, then Connor Williams has replaced Connor McGovern. McGovern out there now. Have you ever seen that, Tony?
I've seen one guy like that, too, is definitely more than you want, but
3rd and 10, that's dropped by Schultz. He would have had the first. He would have slashed upfield and would have definitely had the first down.
Well, drops have started to become an issue for this team a little bit. You see the throws a little high on the one before, and then all of a sudden a drop. You see the heavy hands, though, Abram, how they stand there? This should have been caught. Perfect throw. It's a terrible catch. But teams are hanging, Jim, on these guys longer, and they're saying you've got to take longer in rhythm to get this, and then they attack you up front. And it's starting to become a little problem when all of a sudden the sun is in your eyes.
Yes, it is. That's a little idea what Renfro faces. We've had 3 punts combined in this game, the shortest being 56 yards. Renfro able to field it cleanly at the 22. That was only 53 yards. These guys are getting tired. The AFC West, I mentioned this at the top. At 5-5, they're the Raiders. This is just so bunched. Kansas City on this win streak. And the Chargers, what a game that was last Sunday night against Pittsburgh. And the Raiders in this slump, this 3-game stretch, they have been outscored convincingly. And then the Broncos, after the 3-0 start, have lost 5 of their last 7. Broncos will be hosting the Chargers on Sunday. Some of you will see that on CBS. Here's a 1st and 10.
Yep. 187.
Coming after him. Parsons. Somehow, Carr was able to get it thrown in the direction of Moreau and save the sack. Parsons that close to his 9th sack of the rookie season.
Well, Parsons goes up and under, and you just see the speed. I mean, Miller doesn't have a chance. I mean, it just does a lot of moves, but watch this. He's going to go up and then come back under, and so Colton's got to get out of there because he's really fast. But you're not that fast, and he knows that you're trying to get out quick because you're bigger. Not allow him to get around you on the edge, and he uses that against you.
Line up in the eye with the fullback Sutton Smith leading the way for Jacobs. And he's tackled by Golston.
It's such a big play not to take the sack by Derek Carr, right? I mean, it gives you a manageable situation. If you get this 3rd down, no one's going to remember. I mean, the play would have been huge because Waller was coming over the middle, so Parsons disrupts the play. Then Carr does a good job getting the ball out, and those are winning plays on both teams.
It's a 3rd and 7 is what it adds up to. As you said, manageable. Richard, in his career, he's always been a threat in the passing game. Well protected. Oh, and it's knocked down, but a flag again. Jordan Lewis says what? As he thought denying the entry pass to Renfro.
I think you're right. It's going to be another penalty on the Cowboys.
Holding. Defense number 7. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down.
So it wasn't on Lewis, it was on Trayvon Diggs. His 4th defensive penalty on the Cowboys just a minute into the 2nd quarter.
Well, you'll see 7 right there. Watch his left hand and right hand right there. He sees that. That is a hold, and that is definitely going to be called, especially when you got 3 guys right there. You're not by yourself.
186.
On 1st down, they go back to Jacobs. Cowboys waiting for him. And he is clobbered at the line of scrimmage by Justin Hamilton.
It's a good job by Hamilton sliding down the line. Take a look. You'll see 99 right before the snap. He just slides over, and you see that little gap. That's what disrupts the play. That's a guy who watches film and all of a sudden shows up by moving right before the snap.
Rich Bisaccia, the interim coach, 2-3 in 5 games, won his first 2, that dropped the last 3. Former Cowboy assistant, beloved by virtually every team he's been a part of, players and the coaching staffs.
I was around him. I really like, he's a great coach. He knows football. He knows all 3 phases, and I think they got a steal with him.
2nd and 10, and it's almost a theft by Kearse. J-Ron Kearse jumped in front of that one. Falls incomplete.
Trying to hit Waller, and you see Kearse, outstanding job getting his hand up, because this is going to be a huge play. If he doesn't touch that, it's a cool shot right there. Great job by our replay crew. But you'll look, Waller has nobody's, because he was like 10 yards behind him.
Well, 3rd down's been the big point of emphasis for the Raiders this week on both sides of the football. And they got a flag flying on the snap. They've got a 1st down if it holds up. And that's Zay Jones who makes the catch. The son of the former Cowboy linebacker Robert Jones.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Offside. defense number 11.
Lined up.
This penalty's declined as the play results in a first down.
He looked like he was lined up offside. I mean, when I was looking down the field, I'm like, it's my angle.
That's 2 on Parsons for lining up offsides. And Carr got walloped after the throw.
You know, that's the thing. You were talking about third down, though, Jim. Third down, they have not been great lately, and they need to be better. Part of the way to move the chains on third down is the quarterback has to stand in that extra half a second and almost take a beating over and over again. It's hard to do, but Carr did it right there.
On first down. Looks up ahead and finds Waller, who breaks a tackle and gets to the 35, and he is injured. Waller in pain at the 35, falls after a 21-yard gain.
Ooh, they cannot afford to lose this guy. This is their best player. Get rolled up on usually something. Holding that knee area.
The left knee.
Holding your breath for Raider Nation right there. That is a game-changing player.
Season-changing.
You're exactly right. Even better said.
Here's the first down. Setting up a screen. Jacobs able to get through one tackle and take it to the 20. Pick up 17. Curse had him for a loss. Turns out to be a big gainer. Again, 17 picked up on the play.
Very impressed by Greg Olson, offensive coordinator for the Raiders. The play calling. It's a play action. Nope, it's a screen after a play action, and you see Curse misses that tackle. Jacobs, one of his best attributes, Jim, to make it feel like he's going forward. He bounces outside, and the Cowboys knew that. However, they still couldn't stop it.
And here's a guy that's called a great game so far, their offensive coordinator, Greg Olson.
186.
On first down, Jacobs. He's got a quick 5 and more. 9.5 yards picked up. Moreau threw a big block on that side.
And there's Jacobs going in and then bouncing outside. Watch this. He's going to go inside, and we just talked about this.
What you said.
And then, boom, bounces right outside. And the more you study someone, the more you'll know. That's what he likes to do, so you start to take certain angles. Gotten the Cowboys multiple times now.
Kenyon Drake comes in for the first time in this game. Jacobs backup. Here's Waller. Trying to walk around and test it.
We're good. We're good. Yeah.
2 tight ends, Moreau and Helm, on 2nd and a foot. They go with Drake. He's got the first. It'll be a goal-to-go situation for Las Vegas. Running behind Simpson. Well, as Bisaccia has said, our offense just hasn't been on the field enough. It's been just exhausting our defense by failing on our third downs and wanting to play more complimentary football. That's what they've been doing today. It's just what he ordered up in a short week.
Yep,
Carr's on the sideline.
Part of complimentary football, let your teammate come in and play quarterback. Mariota, a little different skill set.
Marcus Mariota.
I wonder if he's going to fake the handoff, Jim, and then possibly do something.
How did you know? There he goes. Tripped up. Gain of 2. Good call, Tony. Tristan Hill wasn't fooled, and Carr will return. How many times did you see that on tape this week?
No, they haven't run it much. I mean, that's when he's walking off the field. You're like, good game, Dorn. Thanks for going in there, Major League. But Greg Olson, that's what teams I know. I mean, he does more things, right? It's not just that, but it just looked like because of the way that they were aligned there.
2nd and goal. 11th play of the drive. Watch Renfro in this situation in the slot. Gonna run it with Jacobs. And he got to about the 3. Now we got a third down call coming up.
Well, and you can tell as soon as Waller goes to the sideline, starting to give the ball to Jacobs on each play just because things get very condensed down there, and this is huge. Him not going in on this play concerns me because this is a third down, and you need your best player out there. They're going to be tight around you, the big body, and if he's not going in now, Jim, uh-oh.
From the shotgun. Carr rifles it. Oh, and just out of reach for Daniel Helm. The backup tight end, the backup to the backup. Was it there?
It was there. The throw's actually perfect. I think Helm just stopped his route. Watch, you'll see Helm, 86. He's going to go out and come back in. And I think he stops as he comes back in. Right there. He just needed to keep moving, and Carr's throwing it under duress right there. But that's a pivot route. Helm stopped his momentum. No touchdown.
And maybe it's a field goal. Carlson, 22 yards it is. Kick is good. Chip shot. Converted. It went 74 yards in 13 plays in 6 minutes. Put more points on the board. 17-6. We're back here in the second quarter. Matchup of these two storied franchises that both came into existence back in 1960. The Cowboys in the NFL, the Raiders in the AFL, and here they go again, meeting for the third time on Thanksgiving Day. Raiders were in here in 2009, 2013. You remember those tilts, Tony?
I do remember. Special days playing on Thanksgiving. You know how much gratitude you have being able to play this game and being able to do it on this day.
Now, the Dallas offense. What have you seen?
Well, what's happened, everyone's been asking, what's going on? Well, teams have played an overfront, which means they've loaded one side and made you run back to the weak side. In other words, Dallas runs to the tight end a lot, and they're forcing back. The other part is they're getting sticky on the outside. The Chiefs, the Broncos, they're almost daring you to just run past them, but they have heavy hands on you for a long time, almost like they're not giving up slants, drag routes, curl routes. You have to run by them, and I think right now you're seeing that's what they're figuring out.
There's Prescott completing it to Gallup. And Gallup has 5 helmets in the area trying to end it. His first catch. Let's talk Dak here a little bit. Cowboy up in his career.
He's had a great career. It's been very impressive to watch the development, improvement, all best team history. And he's still growing. He's still young, you know what I mean? He gets better every year, which is a testament to his work ethic.
Just his 6th year as they hand it off now, pick up the first down into the 38. Pollard able to pick it up. Again, Dak today, when you talk about the absence of Cooper and Lamb, you're talking about 94 combined catches on the season and 11 touchdowns between them for the NFL's #1 scoring offense. So trying to overcome that, it's a lot.
It is a lot, and that's especially when I told you how those teams are getting their hands on the receivers, right? Makes it tougher. Now, the Raiders don't do that a lot, so when they do, they need to make sure because they play zone.
Here's a little play action coming after him. Slides away, and Ngakoue is behind him, and the pass to Schultz. What a hit. He got just hammered by Perriman and still held on, and a flag comes out near midfield.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 52. This 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. It's first down.
Yeah.
He definitely lunged right at the very end here. You can't lunge at someone and take their head, neck. I mean, there's like 5 penalties, I feel like, on that specific one.
Like helmet to helmet, lunge, launch, whatever you want to call it, you can't do it. And that puts the football at the 43. Pollard getting a lot of work. He's down to about the 40.
It's quiet in here right now, as it should be when you're on offense, but I tell you, this is a big drive for the Cowboys because at home, they're used to being the team who's controlling time possession up and down the field. Other than the Denver game, they've just been darn near unstoppable. So this is concerning right now for the Cowboys, this drive.
2nd and 7. Fakes to Gallup and goes in the area. And got hit when he threw it. Schultz. And there's Ngakoue decking Dak on the release. It'll be a 3rd and 7.
Tyron Smith just doesn't come out. It's a wrong play in his eyes. Wow, watch right here. He's going to somehow go back inside. He's supposed to block him. But you see Ngakoue come free.
He hesitated for a moment.
It's like he thought it was a different play, like a pull. And that happened, that communication happened in Kansas City on an early 3rd down, and Dak got hit pretty hard then as well.
5 receivers for Prescott. 5 rushers, and it goes incomplete. Oh, that was Perriman who got flagged before for unnecessary roughness, who was flying after the quarterback and forced the incompletion.
Well, this is an outstanding defensive call. Gus Bradley here, 4-by-1 formation, and you're going to watch Perriman come right across here. He's going to let these guys in loop, and you see how many guys are on that side of the ball.
Hey, they're going to go long field goal here. We're talking 59 yards. And again, if you miss, you put the football at the 49 for the Raiders. 59 yards for Zuerlein. He's got a huge leg. We all know that.
Yeah, he's going to easily get this there, right? But
missed a PAT in the first. Here's the kick from 59, and it hits the upright.
That'd have been good from 70.
It was halfway up the pole.
That was a cool shot we just showed right there. That's a disappointing drive for the Cowboys. Now field position. This is getting a little scary for Cowboy fans. Raider fans are ecstatic on Thanksgiving.
All thankful to be able to share this holiday with you and the tradition of football, Thanksgiving. It's special. We got a good one going here. Raiders, the road team, leading 17-6, starting the drive from the 49, and Carr got hit. That's ruled a fumble on the field and recovered by Las Vegas.
I think that probably is a fumble, because normally you think normally it plays out like it's an incompletion, but I think this is a fumble just watching it live. Let's see. As Basham comes flying in 93.
Living up to his name.
That's a fumble. So he hits the ball before the ball has to be going forward.
And then Simpson would recover it. There he is.
Incredible effort.
All of that for a gain of 1.
Wow, some of the bounces and calls are going against the Cowboys today, and the Raiders have had Lady Luck on their side.
There's Jacobs, who just got a couple. That's actually Kenyon Drake for a couple. Let's go to Trace.
Well, Jim, we all know how important Darren Waller is to this offense. He is on the bike right now, trying to stretch out that left knee. He's been talking with athletic trainers. As you can see, he's getting off right now. He is questionable to return. Also, defensive end Carl Nassib, he is questionable with a knee injury as well.
Hey, the Raiders, 3rd and 7. 3rd down today.
That's Parsons 11 in the A gap, Jim. Right here you got how many guys? You bring the tight end in to block, and all of a sudden you got a chance to take a shot downfield. They're good at this. Let's see if they catch him.
2 of 4 on 3rd down. Got a flag down. Carr release. Great attempt by Zay Jones. I don't think he had the feet down. The officials are conferring.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Offense number 70.
They're going to take the penalty, Jim, or go
The ruling on the field was a completed pass. So the penalty will be enforced. We'll replay 3rd down.
Tell you what, if they ruled that a completed pass, that was an incredible effort by Zay Jones.
We just kind of minimized it and went right over as if it was 8 yards out of bounds.
They walk back up.
By the way, that's
side judge.
I would like to see that, because that makes a difference in the call, right? It's like if he didn't, you might decline it. Ooh, I think that is close to being out.
Toes might have been off the ground.
Well, the Raiders now have an opportunity to get a first down, whereas it would have been 4th and 7 or 8 before.
3rd and 18 it is. Inside 5 minutes, first half.
If you're not helping on Parsons 11, good luck.
Goes to Renfro, underneath. Renfro to the Dallas 46. It'll be 4th down at about 7.
We see 11. Parsons comes flying, and we just talked about no double team, so he's going to make you move off your spot. And Basham comes in. You have to let go. Give Dan Quinn credit. Regardless of who's healthy or not, this defense keeps playing great football. They held the Chiefs, last week to a very close game. What a hire that was. I mean, he's morphed himself, too, from a zone defense to a man principal guy match. They get up there, play tight, and create turnovers this year. Really impressive.
For 6 years, head coach at Atlanta. And boy, did they take care of the Falcons a few weeks back here and gave him the game ball and beat his former team. Cole's punt. demands a fair catch by Wilson. 32 yards, pins the Cowboys inside the 15. 3:52 to go in the first half. You heard the edict.
Oh, my God.
Give my dad some love today. All right, Cowboys now on offense. Starting at the 14. That's Pollard for 2 of 3. There's a lot to be able to say about his dad this season he's had with the 8 interceptions. You know, he's got a chance to, you know, get double digits, and that's such a rarity. The last player with 10-plus regular season interceptions, you got Lester Hayes in Oakland, had 13 back in 1980, and Everson Walls with Dallas had 11 in 81, 40 years ago. Up ahead, Wilson shakes off the tackle. Abram rides him down, twists him down, but a big play for Dallas, and they needed one here before the half.
Yeah, and I think the Raiders needed Diggs on that defensive play, but we talked about the coverages and everything. Watch the wheel route come flying in. You're going to see the motion. He's going to go up the sideline. And you see Wilson right there keeping his toes in.
This is 51 yards.
Perfectly thrown ball by Dak Prescott right there. Back shoulder on Wilson. What a start to that drive. They needed something here, especially as the clock's getting closer to the 2-minute.
First play of 20-plus. In fact, it goes 50-plus as Prescott decides to head to the sideline out at the 30 with 2:35 to go.
And that was a Kellen Moore special.
Well, there's a guy that knows all about the studio, the legend, Brent Musburger. You are looking live, and if you haven't read the book about him, Rich Podolsky has a book out about that magical time in the studio, led by Brent. And here's a handoff to Pollard to about the 22-yard line. Yeah, those were some days. We're 2-minute warning. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Here's a Wildcats formation for Dallas. 1st and 10, Pollard. Zeke was over there trying to throw a block for him. And just a whole lot of bodies prevented that from materializing. Pick up of maybe 2. Prescott, 9 out of 15, 123 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, it's a good first half. I mean, just a couple of the bounces, the calls, things that put him behind. But finishing off this drive right here, everything's fine, no big deal. Game's basically starting over, you know. As long as you get points on this drive, touchdown would be feeling a lot better for Cowboy fans.
2nd and 7 over to Wilson, waiting for it. And he's able to fight for an extra yard or 2 before Hayward finishes off the tackle. 2 yards short of a first. 3rd and 2. Cowboys letting the clock run wisely. Both teams with 3 timeouts. See what the Cowboys can muster before the end of the half. And don't forget the Raiders deferred at the top, so they'll be receiving the 3rd quarter kick. See if the Cowboys can punch one across here down 11.
You got a lot of space at the bottom.
It's back to Pollard. Pollard trying to get the edge. Dives ahead, and touchdown is the call. Touchdown, Pollard.
Well, a flat route. Pollard does the rest. Kind of shows you his ability to use that juice, and he's got, I mean, just a simple flat route. Way too much space for Raiders to give that up at 3rd and 2, and he definitely does not get in. Wow, what an effort.
Previous play is under further review.
Knee is going to be about right there.
Yeah, that was short.
Yeah, it could be. I think they're going to go to short of the goal line. Please reset the game clock to 43 seconds. Las Vegas has chosen to run 10 seconds from there. So now reset the game clock to 33 seconds, and the clock will start on my signal.
This is where the Raiders should have been taking a timeout. There's no reason. Dallas has no concern about time. There's 3 timeouts. I mean, really before, at this point now, you just want it to run out and try and stop them. That means you've made the decision that on the kickoff, you're not going to go and try and score. You're going to down.
But if they would have scored again, he kept it at 43, and maybe with 3 timeouts, he could have done something. Here's the handoff, and it's an easy one for Elliott, and a touchdown.
Pollard brings us down the field. This is like what it used to be opposite. It used to be Zeke takes us down the field, and then you give it to Pollard, and Zeke, you did all the work. Thanks, right? This one's like, hey, Zeke, come on in here. Get yourself a touchdown. He's like, wow, it's one of the easier runs I've had in quite some time.
Something to be thankful for on this day.
A 1-yard run for a touchdown.
Yeah. With Pollard doing the heavy lifting.
He did, and really the play was that 3rd down and 3 where Pollard's play got him all the way down there, but way too soft, right? The zone was just too much. You got to get up there and put your hands on these guys. They're too good.
That's an 86-yard touchdown drive here in the last 4 minutes of the first half. Key play, of course, the 51-yard completion on the second play of the drive to Wilson. 17-13, 25 seconds to go before the intermission here in Arlington. Happy Thanksgiving. We're back with the final 25 seconds of the first half. Cowboys will send it all the way to the back of the end zone. Beer never broke my heart. It's Luke Combs coming up at halftime. It's a great one, and there's a handoff to Jacobs, and Parsons with the quick hit on him, and looks like everybody's be satisfied to call that a half of action. If you're a Raider fan, we have a timeout here, timeout called. If you're a Raider fan, you got to be wondering, you're going to be going the rest of the way without Darren Waller.
It's definitely,
he's not looking good.
Most concerning thing going into this half. He's right there. That doesn't look promising, right? That 1 3rd down in the red zone told you everything, Jim. It's going to be something special at halftime. Mr. Miyagi needs to come in and clap his hands, you know, or something, because I'm concerned if I'm a Raider fan.
Coming out of the Cowboy timeout, and another give here to Jacobs. Jacobs picks up a first down, stops the clock at 14 seconds.
Just imagine if you had another 15 seconds.
Darren Waller was in that opening tease that we had. He brought us on the air with Dak Prescott. Can't help but think on this Thanksgiving Day of one of our greatest teammates who we lost this year, Gareth Hughes. Just an amazing man. So many years cut our opening tease for Thanksgiving Day. And we do miss him. We send our best wishes to Amy and all the family on this Thanksgiving Day from your CBS family. That's going to run out the first half. And we welcome you back to Arlington. Yes, the Raiders will receive the second half kickoff with the lead at 17-13. Here's a look at the first half highlight presented by State Farm. And it was a big one. Carr to Jackson, who was able to run the tightrope down the sideline for the 56-yard touchdown. And the Raiders lead it. Again, here at the intermission, about to start the second half. That was not exactly a quick moving first half. And you ready to get this restarted again?
Yep, this is game 2 for us. I mean, literally, you know, you have a certain energy level and you're like, wow, this is almost like starting another game. We just did a full half of it, but it's been a good half in a lot of ways for both teams, and also a half that feels like the game's going to come down to a turnover, Jim. It's like both these quarterbacks are playing pretty well. It's like who's going to strip fumble, who's going to create that big play. Diggs has done it this year like a lot of guys, but these two guys are playing well, sound football. But it's going to come down to a turnover, a missed field goal, a kick. Oh, Dallas already had one of those.
Yeah, they missed a PAT and a field goal. And you see the quarterback comparison, very similar numbers for Carr and for Prescott in that first half.
You know, the one thing about a short week coming in, right? Sunday through Thursday, it's hard to put a lot of stuff in on defense. You can't exactly rep a whole bunch of stuff to confuse another team. So you got to do kind of what you are, which is why teams usually can have some efficiency, unless it's an opponent that knows you really well. But if you don't see a team for a while, So I think you're seeing that play out a little bit with some of these bigger plays, or because you know what you're getting. But I'd like to see these coordinators change it up a little bit, make it a little tougher on the quarterbacks in the second half.
All right, Tracy, what did you hear at halftime?
Well, I spoke with Mike McCarthy. He said they need to continue to run the football and then take some shots. We saw a lot more of Tony Pollard than Ezekiel Elliott. He said that was by design, the short week, the knee injury. They need him fresh for the fourth quarter. The big question is whether we will see Darren Waller out here. He is not. He remains in the locker room with a bone bruise on that left knee. They do not know if they're going to get him back for this game, Jim.
What is it?
Well, here they start at 25. With Jacobs trying to weave through traffic. Picks up about 5. It's Derek Dallas Carr, by the way. His middle name, he's named for his mother's side of the family and their love with the Dallas Cowboys. Mother Cheryl. Of course, his dad was a big Raider fan, and he lived a good part of his youth. Did Derek down in the Houston area, 5th grade until his senior year in high school. Clements High School in the Fort Bend District. Here he is, tossing it to Zay Jones. Moreau out there blocking, and he has to try to scratch his way for a first, as he might have just collided a bit with Moreau. He's going to be yards short.
Well, this is a play design coming out of half. You see what they're in, the defensive front. You come out and use their momentum and leverage against them, and didn't realize the momentum of yourself was going to make you fall down, because that was an easy first down.
Got to clip the back of the heel of Moreau. 3rd and 1.
Shotgun on 3rd and 1. Wide open gap over here. You could hand it off, right? They kind of know that, though, on the defense.
They're going that way. They're going that way, Tony. He has to break it outside, and that's not going to happen. They closed that gap in a hurry, and it was Carlos Watkins and others that said, go ahead, take the bait, because we're going to be waiting for you. Loss of 4.
When they give that wide open area, it looks like it's going to be open. It's because they know they're giving it to you. They run a stunt. You see Watkins come free, and this is the problem I have for the Raiders. Their offense looks good, but all of a sudden, 3rd and short, you see the Cowboys excited. That's a big-time play. They're 44%. On 3rd and 3 or less. That is terrible. That's the worst mark. And that's why they're not scoring as many points recently. Plays like that.
Here's Cole, who showed off his leg in that first half and does so again here. As it bounces right about at the 18. Oh, we got a little fight breaking out here.
Is he going to throw that flag?
They will eventually.
I was like, this has got to go about 5 from up. Here it comes. Back away. He's going to throw it right here, Jim. He's going to back away. Here. Is he going to throw that flag right there? Turn around.
Still can't get him to settle down. It's Roderick Teamer, by the way, 33 of the Raiders. And LaShawn Wright of the Cowboys carry that all the way into the kicking net and beyond.
Here's where it started. See Joseph and Teamer going at it. I don't know. Not a flag? Not one flag anywhere?
There will be.
I haven't seen a flag thrown yet. Usually you get 10 of them by that point, right?
Yeah, they all like to add to the mix. There you go. You wanted one, you got it.
I tell you, the Roma boys do cut up Dad a lot. I mean,
yeah,
it's WrestleMania every night. So his mic's not open, so no one can hear him. He doesn't realize that, but it's penalty on the Cowboys, penalty on the Raiders. We're going to go ahead and replay and disqualify somebody. I think he just disqualified 2 people, Jim.
I think it's the 2 we mentioned before. There's a lot of business to go through. Without a mic, take a break. Well, Tom Hill took one on the chin there. We're back, and we've had ejections, 1 from each side. Special teamers, Kelvin Joseph of the Cowboys and Teamer of the Raiders. They both headed in for fighting. Both ejected. And now the Cowboys' first snap of the second half. It's a good run by Pollard. Peels off about a 12-yard gain. Here the guys leaving Gene's territory. When you're down on the field, is it easy to sort out something like that because you had so many people that were tangled up?
No, it sure isn't, Jim. At first, you just want to make sure that you can get people separated as much as possible. It does appear that the officials communicated rather quickly, though, once they got separated and did eject number 33 and 24, respectively, in the play.
Thank you, Gene. Last time the Cowboys and Raiders tangled, 2017. Gene was the referee in that game out in California. That pass intended for Elliott. There was some pressure applied by Quentin Jefferson.
Yep, and Jefferson's on going against the left guard. This time it's Connor McGovern, who started last week for the first time. He'd been rotating a little bit, but the one-on-one block right there, no chance. You see 66, 77. 77 right there, went right around him one-on-one. Now, you need to give him help, right? It's like that's the one area you can attack right now on the offensive line for the Cowboys.
Prescott has been pressured a few times, knocked down a few times, but has not been sacked. Here's a 2nd and 10. Pass gets knocked down at the line. That was knocked down by Hankins. And 3rd and 10 coming up for Dallas.
Well, a few miscues to start the second half. Got a good run to start off. And you get a tip ball at the line.
The penalty's really the key part.
It's been like that, right? You just feel like they have 3 or 4 big plays that have been called back. Just makes everything a struggle.
Got to get to the 39 for a first. Raiders rush 4. Prescott looks ahead, and the flag comes out quickly. Intended for Gallup. Hayward's going to be flagged here.
Play potential.
Before the pass was thrown, holding, defense number 29. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Yeah, Gallup got injured in the opener at Tampa and with a calf injury, missed 5 games. This is game 3 in his return from IR. Oh, no question about that one.
Now, that was the second interference because looking down the field, he was getting held all the way down the field, and that's why I think going to him in the man-to-man situations can really help you. That's why you have guys who are really good. It's like, hey, Pollard, he's explosive. He's tough to go. Get him in man-to-man. 4-by-1, Jim. 4 guys on one side. Motion to 3-by-2.
1 first down. So go to the left side. Sidestepping a tackle, and eventually the defender, Hobbs, catches up with Wilson. Pickup of about 5, maybe 6.
So, Jim, you see the 4 guys on this side right there? What you're doing is you're going to motion now and go ahead and run a normal play, but you got a chance to see, okay, what would they have been in, right? If we did stick with our 4-by-1 package. So you'll see them come back with that. Kellen Moore, very smart. He just sets it up there to see what they could be in, so he calls a good play later.
File that one away. Pollard, the running back, gets the handle and gets brought down quickly. Oh, what a nice play by Solomon Thomas.
One thing about these D linemen, they go flying right to the quarterback as you see 92, and you hit the running back on the way to him. Solomon Thomas using that speed. But right there, that's a slow developing play. Against a defense like this, you want to crack and get outside, or you want to run straight ahead quickly. Slow developing,
3rd and 10. Cowboys converted on 3rd and 10 off a penalty a moment ago.
4-by-1.
To Pollard. Pollard going to come up 3 yards short. Abram wouldn't allow him to get loose.
And what happened was that was set up from Kellen Moore from before, being like, ooh, we have numbers, we have leverage. Problem, they had numbers and leverage. Look at this. It should be a big gain. You just need to block right there. Oh, 39 disrupts the whole play. Hobbs makes 2 guys, splits them, turns it back inside. Well done.
So Anger back out to punt. 4th time in the game. Fair catch with a flag. Renfro secures it at the 15. The flag right in the area where he made the fair catch after a 44-yard punt.
During the kick, illegal block in the back, kicking team number 25. Las Vegas has chosen to enforce this 10-yard foul from the end of the play. It's first down, timeout.
Take it from the 15 to the 25.
That was impressive. 15 plus 10, Jim. You're getting good at this.
I'm learning from the best. Both teams with their top pass catchers out. Waller for the Raiders, Cooper and Lamb for the Cowboys. And look at Carr connect. He's got Renfro with a big gain to the Dallas side of the 50.
Another great play call. You got man-to-man coverage. You're going to go ahead and watch Renfro, who's going to be right outside here. He's going to come into your screen. And there he's against Jordan Lewis. But you see, like, man-to-man, it's really difficult if the quarterback gets time. Cowboys need to change that up a little bit. A little more zone, especially on early downs.
That went for 31. Longest reception of the season for Renfro. And here's Carr coming back to Moreau. Thrown down after 2 yards. For the Raiders, it has been impossible, Tony, to get your mind around this season, from John Gruden to Henry Ruggs. And when we were talking with Coach Bisaccia this week and how the offense has slowed down these last 3 weeks, the coach, he got downright tearful. He brought up Riggs. He wasn't minimizing the tragic crash, but he said it has affected this team, and it will for a long, long time, as Carr completes it to about the 30. Renfro again with the catch. As Carr takes a big hit, comes up wincing.
Can't lose anybody else. You've already lost Waller, it looks like, today. And
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense. This 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. It's first down.
Anytime the quarterback is hit in the head,
please reset the game clock.
Sometimes it doesn't look as severe as others, but there it is. He's getting crashed into. He actually runs into the knee of Parsons on his own.
yeah, they're always going to protect the quarterback inside with that. And that is one of those right there, because that did not look like a penalty to me, right? Like, it was like, did he get banged up on it? Yes, but, you know, in real time, how big was that hit to his helmet with his hand? That's the one. I don't know, that did not seem like a penalty.
But they step it off to the 15. Cowboys D-line tries to shift at the last moment. And there goes Jacobs down to the 9. We're going to bring back in Gene. Just about that roughing the passer call. Did it look like enough there to you, Gene, to merit a flag?
No, personally it does not, Jim. And the thing about this, too, is Derek Carr is running. He's still scrambling. He's not standing still in a passing posture. So you're pursuing him. And as he starts to fall, to me, that's not an official blow to the head type of a level that you would want for roughing the passer. I understand Mike McCarthy's frustration on the play.
It goes down as the 5th defensive penalty of the day for the Cowboys. 2nd and 4.
That was the worst one. That was not a penalty.
Look at that, through a tiny opening. Jacobs able to get past 3 or 4 Cowboys and turn it into a good gain of 6.
Well, this was an outstanding block by 87 Moreau. Watch, he's going to come in, and Parsons is going to be right at the end of this, and he's going to take him and send him right down. Boom. I think that creates a hole when you push someone down.
That'll work. Mariota comes in for the 2nd time in this game.
There's Carr. Mariota, the backup quarterback.
1st and goal at the 3. Gonna keep it. Got an opening, and it's a touchdown for the Raiders.
This is just poor communication. KZ and Van Der Esch both decide to go down to the running back, and Mariota uses their leverage against them. Watch your right side. 2 guys are right there, and they both go to the running back where they should. That's just assignment football, right? Bad eyes, just bad if Cowboys now, this is getting tight for Cowboy fans.
And Carlson takes the lead back to 11. That's a 75-yard drive in 6 plays with Mariota finishing off his first touchdown of the season. Well, what do you want to wear to the game today? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to wear my beer helmet. I got 20 of them. What are you going to do? I'm going to wear my turkey.
Makes perfect sense. With that old thing. Here's Pollard. Oh, look at Pollard. Turn it on. Carlson. He gets past him. Look at Pollard taking it for the touchdown.
Oh, my goodness. We talked earlier coming out of halftime. There's one guy, right, who looked like he had juice today that's been, like, showing off a little bit. How do you get him the ball? Well, let him just get a kickoff and go 1,000,000 yards and score.
It looked like there were a couple of Raiders that had the angle on him. He came into the game #1 in the NFL in kickoff return average, and that average just got spiked.
And you see, I mean, the speed for running back, it's hard, right, for guys to have top-end speed, but he does. He outraces everyone, but he has vision, and he's showing off today a little bit.
This is what he did with regularity in college at Memphis. His sophomore year at Memphis, he led the nation with a 40-yard average on kick returns. Had 7 kick return touchdowns in his career for the Tigers, and he has just changed the vibe in this one.
Wow, this place just erupted.
Disbelief for the Dallas fans.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, leverage, defense number 99. Dallas has elected to enforce that foul from the 2 to the 1 yard line and go for 2 points.
How about that?
Yeah, well, leverage usually means you're trying to jump over the center. They protected the center because his head's down. They don't want him to get hurt, so see Furl there. He probably went right over the center. Let's see. See the center and left guard right there? Sorry, other side. Right there. He just jumps over the top. You can't do that.
He's trying to make a play and never came close. Now for the 2. The toss. And Wilson is stopped by Abram.
Wow, that was all Abram. That's a great design. Kellen Moore, execution, everything was perfect. One thing you can't account for is the leading tackler at the safety position, defensive back in the NFL, 24. Watch the effort on the bottom of your screen. He's going to shove Schultz and come flying in. Right here, watch this. You got to get around it, fight through it, and then take your shot when you have an opportunity. Coach Bisaccia understands how big that could be.
Well, yeah, the penalty ends up helping the Raiders. Takes a point off the board. Enforce it there. Move it down to the 1.
I always go, okay, if you have a great play and you think you need to go for 2, then go ahead, right? It's like if you don't have something great, so people ask, what time of the game? Is it, do you just do it early? It's like, well, there's a ton of analytics and theories on it. Just, do you trust a play that you think should be a walk? It was just an incredible effort by one guy. The problem is, people matter, and you are running at the best tackler. You know, he has the most tackles in the National Football League. You know, as a defensive back, so.
It was a 100-yard return officially. The Raiders' first kickoff return allowed by them since 2015 when Cordero Patterson returned one against him as a member of the Vikings.
I think you should throw at him because he's given up 4 touchdowns recently passing.
Dallas defense right back on the field. No rest after the kick return and the long drive for the Raiders. Before that, and that could have been a big one. Jacobs, he saw 50 yards of open field ahead.
Oh, this was an unbelievable throw. Under pressure, he waits it out, and then the route was incredible. You know it wasn't? The catch. Carr has to throw this a hair earlier than he wants because the break by Jacobs wasn't quite there. Oh my gosh, Jacobs could have scored. I mean, that could have gone
very possible.
Could have been very similar to Pollard, right? Where just all of a sudden, boom, one guy missed going. Boy, this game has just started to take a turn right here.
It's got a lot of excitement to it. I know that from the start. Here's a 2nd and 10. He's going to swing it over to Zay Jones, stiff arm. The second one not going to help any because the Cowboys had that defended. And it's a loss on the play of a yard.
Well, we talk about changing it up for Dallas. This was a killer of a man-to-man play because watch right here. If you're in man-to-man coverage, you're going to get out over that other side and go take someone. But you're in zone, you're able to stand there because that would have been a killer in man-to-man. Good job by Dan Quinn right there, who's having a great year.
3rd and 11. Carr feels the heat behind him, so he takes off. He's got open room. He easily has the first down. All the way to midfield.
Derek Carr, known for his wheels and speed all over. Right there, he shows off. I mean, there's nothing open right here. You see 18, Kazee, he doesn't know what to do because he's trying to help on the crosser, but it's almost like he didn't see the quarterback running as Tristan Hill, 72, tried to catch up. Every route was going across the other side of the field.
22-yard scramble. His longest rush had been 9 on the season prior to that one. We got a timeout called by Dallas. Longest run by Carr, by the way, in 4 years. So back out of a Cowboy timeout. First down for the Raiders at their 46.
Raiders give motion, quick snap, handoff.
Drake tries to dance around a few defenders, and Morrow helps push him ahead. For a gain of about 3. Tracy, to you.
Well, Jim, as we saw Darren Waller on the sideline in street clothes, so he is officially out for this game. Defensive end Carl Nassib also out for this game, and I was just told linebacker Patrick Owasu, he's questionable with a hamstring injury, Jim.
Oh, it's getting thin. 2nd and 8.
We're good.
You can hear Derek Carr, we're good. That means we're good with the play that we're going to run, so we're going to go ahead and fake it and boot out.
And he knew he had to get rid of it. Threw it in the direction of Deshaun Jackson because Parsons, as he does so often with that quick burst, he disrupted the play in a millisecond.
Adjustment by Dan Quinn. We keep talking about it, but look at these linebackers right here. The one in the middle. If you're in man-to-man, you've got to run with someone. The zone, they're allowed to stay there, waiting for these man-to-man play calls.
3rd down now. Richard comes in for the Raiders.
This is where you could play man without Waller, right? And you double team the next best player, Renfro. Don't let him get the ball.
Carr throws it off his back foot, going deep. And we've got a flag. It was intended for Deshaun Jackson.
They're going to get a penalty on the secondary for the Cowboys. Deshaun Jackson threw his arms up pretty early on that play, and he got the call, maybe. They could pick this up. I mean, it's pretty close, I feel like, when I watched it down there, but that's
pass interference.
That's called.
Defense number 30. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
So now Anthony Brown again, Tony.
And he hadn't been called for very many this year at all, and now it's all of a sudden 3 today, too early. And this is why when teams play man-to-man coverage, you've got to take shots downfield. Because if they're going to put their hands on you, it's really hard to run a curl route, an in route, an out route. They're running past them, throwing that ball up there and giving them a chance. Referees see that.
Now Carr from the pocket, zips it incomplete. I will say this, Deshaun Jackson has made a difference in this game with the 56-yard touchdown and 2 DPIs. The first one set up a score as well, and now they're, of course, in range to do something.
Takes you back to what you're talking about, having someone who could possibly replace Ruggs. They needed to get some speed, and Coach talked. It's a good point you bring that up. He's possibly that guy. Coach was very excited to see the possibility of that today, and that's happening. And for the Raiders, they've been missing that speed, and Deshaun Jackson at 34 still has some wheels, Jim.
Yeah, 14th year in the league. Definitely has been a difference maker in this game as they give it to Drake. Takes it to right at about the 30. In field goal range for Carlson. Drake, who the last time he played against Dallas, it was here 2 years ago as a member of Arizona. He ran for 164 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Now Richard back in. 3rd and 6.
Well, they're lining up, playing everyone man. He's in the middle field. He's going to read the quarterback's eyes and see where he's going to go right away.
Over to Renfro. And he is not going to be able to out-battle Lewis for that first down yardage. And there is no second guessing here. Bisaccia is going to bring out the field goal unit.
Well done, Lewis. It's an option route inside. It's really hard to cover. Renfro, he's got a two-way go. He can go inside or outside, but Lewis plays high, comes down and makes a tackle, possibly saving points unless they make this. Jim, do they?
Well, we're talking about the all-time leading scorer in SEC history out of Auburn, Daniel Carlson.
I thought it was Charles Barkley.
46 yards. Well, same school. And that looked pretty automatic. Charles didn't play enough years in college to have that record.
I said, Charles, can you play football? I said, yeah. I said, no, you can't. He said, you're right.
There you see Coach Mike McCarthy. We're talking to him about his team being 7-3 and how wide open it is seeding-wise. Got the big lead in this division. Was he thinking about that at all looking down the road with this and 6 other games to go? He said he learned from Marty Schottenheimer a long time ago that until you get to 10 wins, you're wasting your time talking about the playoffs. That's for us to do. The Cowboys, one of many teams in that NFC. It's going to be so fun to see it sort itself out. Let's take a look at Next Gen Stats powered by AWS.
The way to get there to the playoffs is to have a lot of these misdirection plays, right? Just you talk about the Raiders' ability to go full speed and all out, right? Use it against them. Make them go this way, go back the other way. Make them feel this way, go the other way. And they've had a lot of success today, the Cowboys, when they've ran stuff like that. And I think you'll see a few of it coming forward before the end of this game. I'm going to say it's coming up right here.
Okay. I'm looking for it on first down. This Gallup sandwiched pickup of 7.
Right here on the next one.
Okay.
It's coming up on this drive. That's a good design right there. Motion, just run a simple stick route.
And Dak to 160 yards passing. Elliott, the running back. They hand it off to him. Nowhere to go. He's got some health issues, does Zeke. He's got a tender knee, comes off of season low numbers at Kansas City, 9 for 32. Today, we're talking 8 for 24, so in the same range as last week. That tweaked knee, after a really strong start, putting 143 yards against Carolina, buck 10 against the Giants. Here's a 3rd and 3. A pass incomplete. That was going to Wilson. Pressure by Crosby definitely affected that throw.
Well, Crosby's having an outstanding season. He leads the NFL in pressures, second quarterback hits. I mean, he's got one of the best spin moves I've ever seen. He's right up there with Freeney, 98. Right here, he just goes with a bull rush, but he gets that hand in there. Dak had more space. I think he just wants that one back. Maybe throw that 1/10 of a second earlier.
3rd 3 and out for Dallas. His anger caught all of this one. Renfro grabs it at the 9. As Dak takes a look at what happened on that last series, and now the Raiders backed up inside the 10.
You see the motion. No one really runs with him, so you're getting a soft zone.
Jones makes the quick turn, pivots away from the defender, and slips through another tackle. What a nice play by Zay Jones. He got right around Curse.
It was almost like Curse was like, just took a terrible angle on this. Like he didn't think the ball was going to be coming. 27 is going to come into your screen right there. And you see how like that angle going to like out of bounds almost. It's just poor job by Curse on that angle. He's had his defensive backs, they've had a lot of good plays this year. They're playing well together, not quite as well today.
Right up the middle, it's Drake for about 4.
Curse comes right back and makes a good play there. Derek Carr, for this offense to be really good, give him just an extra second or two and he'll really attack the defense. And he's done a really good job of extending plays, using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield, and then when it's time, take off and run and use that fast speed of his. But he's playing great this year, Jim. It's just they're asking him to do a lot. They need more play action, more screens, make the game a little easier for him today. It's working out well, but he may have found something.
2nd and 7. Here he is, standing in the pocket, dumping it underneath. Look at the tackle broken by Kenyon Drake. Got away from Neal, and that picks up a first down as Carr, almost single-handedly, Tony, I think is what you're trying to say, trying to carry this team through all this adversity.
Well, he is, and you see a check down right here. He's going to come right up over the ball. And the biggest thing is the tackling right there. To me, that's what's starting to show up is the penalties today that put the Cowboys in a hole. That's why they're losing a little bit right there. The second part is the tackling as the game continues to move on. It's creating an issue, so they're giving up bigger plays than they probably should have. And sometimes that's fatigue, being on the field too much. Multiple reasons, short week.
3 plays, 49 yards to this point, and now they go deep. And that was going to Zay Jones. Brown on the coverage.
Sometimes you want your receiver to get his eyes back sooner. Carr waited a long time. You see a little contact. Brown's got to watch it. That was really close, right? They could have thrown. They're almost like, hey, come on, seriously? Keep calling you for this. You want to keep doing it? That one he got away with a little bit.
I mentioned Zay Jones' father. Robert Jones was a linebacker at Dallas. Like his dad, Zay went to East Carolina and is the nephew of another East Carolina player that had a career in the NFL. That like to go deep. Jeff Blake is his uncle.
He could throw that great deep ball. Russell Wilson, little image of that, where the ball goes in the air and almost touches the ceiling as it comes down.
On a timeout called by the Raiders with 2 seconds to go in the quarter. I was mentioning how Dallas is jockeying for seeding purposes, whether they want to think that or not right now. You look at the AFC playoff picture.
Huge game right here for...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this one...
Well, you're a game back of Buffalo right now for the last spot, 7. And look at all those teams that are in the mix.
Well, and the other part, too, is your division, right? Kansas City has already beaten the Cowboys. The Chargers at 6-4. They lost to the Cowboys, so... Denver beat the Cowboys. If you lose this, there's tiebreakers, all these things. I mean, there's a lot of different things, but that
they add up.
Common opponents, they come in there at some point.
So they took a timeout for that, and Drake is dropped for a loss. We're through 3 in Dallas, and the Raiders lead it. Back at AT&T Stadium, what we've seen, pass the potatoes. Not a bad idea. Receptions by 8 different players. Here's the 3rd and 15 to start the 4th. Hello! Could have become the 9th different target to catch a ball.
The pressure up front, the stunt. See the simple. Going to go ahead and give a little chip on their best player, but really the pressure from the left side is what created Carr to move out and have to throw that early. Basham having a pretty good game today, moving around, creating, and those are hurries, Jim. Those are what get people to punt the ball.
Cole, he can punt it, that's for sure. Takes something off of this one, does what he wanted to do. Sets him back at the 10. Wilson secures it. All right, Tony, I want you to sort this one out. We talked about the Cowboys. Look at these records. As you see, even the Rams back there at 7-3 right now are the 5 seed.
So the biggest thing for me is this. You have these 4 teams and this team. And for the rest of the year, any one of these feels like they could be a #1 seed in any given year.
That's right.
And so this is huge because anytime you lose to an opponent, let's say who has a record worse than you, it's going to get tough because those top teams, they're going to continue to keep winning and only lose another 2 games max, maybe 3 at most. But most likely a team is going to go 4 losses. So you lose a game like this, and at the end of this year, if you have 5 teams who could be a #1 seed, which is crazy, that's a lot of teams in 1 year. Well, then it comes down to home field advantage, Jim. And how are you going to go through all those teams? You want to be at home.
After a catch by Brown, he's got a second catch. Well, again, you only get 1 bye now. Only 1 team gets a week off, the #1 seed.
That's huge.
And you're right. There are 5 teams clearly that have the ability to be the 1 seed in this conference as the Cowboys go hurry up.
Which I like. Get up. You know it's going to be tight, man. You got to let it go.
Letting it go to Gallup. Catches it over the shoulder. And the Cowboys are in business.
There we go. Man to man. They're making you go deep. You do it. And who's the guy we said? No hands on. That's a poor job by 29. Not getting his hands on Hayward, who's actually had a fantastic year this year, Casey Hayward.
I mean, the pass was perfect.
Woo, what a throw.
41 yards to the 26.
Man to man. Who you go to? Gallup today. The other guys are out. And the tempo gets them lined up quickly, so they're in 3 zone.
Prescott goes screen. Blocker in front. And Elliott has another first down. Running behind Connor McGovern.
The other part about going no huddle here, you're down 8 points. You're trying to make sure the game can be spread out as long as you possibly can make it. So the faster you go, the more possessions you possibly have in case you don't get the 2-point conversion.
Here's Prescott to the end zone, wide open. It was Gallup.
Gallup burns him at the line of scrimmage. Faison actually trips on his teammate's foot there, but it's a great release. Dak just misses a little bit.
Thought he's going the other way.
Well, what happens is the other guy falls down. You're like, oh, you're so wide open, just turn. So the timing gets thrown.
2nd and 10. Goes back to Brown. His 3rd catch on this drive. They take his helmet off on the tackle. That'll be 3rd and about 3 coming up for Dallas. Give him a gain of 7 right here.
That's an underrated throw right there. It's perfect, where he can actually turn and get upfield and keep the momentum. And now you're in a position, 4-down territory, I think, no question. Usually Dallas likes to go ahead and quickly drop back and throw.
Here's Prescott. End zone, touchdown! Dalton Schultz. We got a flag. And a conference back at the 20-yard line.
Oh, my goodness.
As the Raiders are arguing.
It looked like they weren't on the line of scrimmage, right? Like the receivers. You have to have someone on the line of scrimmage. That's just from looking down there, but maybe it's something else. But did Dallas line up incorrectly with only 6 guys on the line?
There were 2 fouls by the offense on the play. Illegal formation, number 77. This penalty's declined. Holding, number 77. This 10-yard penalty will be enforced 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, 3rd down.
Well, the first one is not on Tyron. They call him for being on the line, but that's a receiver has to be on the line of scrimmage. If he's not, the tackle is. They're going to call it. Second one's a hold. Somebody's crossed it. I don't know.
Back at the 17, 3rd and 13. To Pollard, he's out of bounds at about the 12. Official, everybody's looking for him to reach for that flag, which he doesn't. Abram bumped him out. That's what you call it.
I was surprised that this play, we're throwing the ball to the flat.
Crowd's just seeing the replay, and they wanted an unnecessary roughness call. Not going to get it. Going to get Zerline out here. He's missed the PAT and missed the long-range field goal.
Didn't you feel like they were going to go for it after throwing to the flat quickly? You know, it's like,
but you still got 7 to go.
You got to kick
it here.
4th and 7.
Still got 12 minutes to go. 29 yards out, and that kick is good. That makes it 27-22. Cowboys thought they had a touchdown for a moment. Settle for the field goal.
On behalf of our crew and the National Football League, we wish you a healthy, safe, and happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Sean, I believe, and crew. By the way, 28 years ago today, his father, Ed, was the referee in the game right here, the Leon Lett game. 28 years ago today.
It's a great memory for a lot of Cowboy fans. Jim, way to bring that one right back up. I think that happened actually in the league last week.
Well, you know what? As time goes on, all is forgiven. And it's one of the great football follies of all time. By one of the gentle giants, too. Who's beloved.
That is a great play of Cowboys history.
Okay, Carr and the Raiders now.
The history of both these, right? I mean, this is incredible. The history, lineage for both these teams. I mean, you can go on and forever. And now they're trying to have some players make their own. Derek Carr rising up a little bit, right? But he's got to win some of these big games, like these stuff, like right now in the season needs it. You know, playoffs, obviously, but it's to go a long way to showing who you are and how much you've improved over the course of your career.
Comes out passing on first down. Zips it complete. And again, Deshaun Jackson stepping up today. Makes that catch in front of Anthony Brown.
Yeah, you called it. Brown inside leverage, go up. And then boom, break out. I mean, that's a lot of space for the quarterback. You can run a comeback like that and have that much time before the ball comes out. You're going to complete a lot of them.
Monday, sit. 180, sit.
From the 41, Jacobs. Got around the end, picks up a quick 5, but you've got a marker down. It looks like it's going to be against the Raiders, who maybe illegally sealed that side.
Holding. Offense, number 76. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
No, that's the left guard, John Simpson.
Who's had a good game today. He's come up on some of the big plays. Touchdown run, for example, by Jacobs earlier.
Boy, some of these calls today.
Fumble recovery also, did Simpson?
Yeah, that was huge because the effort allowed them to get that ball back.
Right.
That should have been the Cowboys' ball. But how many penalties today?
18 overall. 10 by the Raiders. 10 by the Cowboys, I should say. 8 on the Raiders.
Well, at least they're being semi-fair, right? I mean, that's fair.
Pretty close.
Each fan on each side is like, no, it's not.
That's not fair. What game are you watching? 1st and 20. Wide open. It's Renfro. Tackled at the 15. He had his longest reception of the season earlier in this game that went for 31. He's just topped that by a bunch. This goes for 54 yards.
Well, you're going to see Renfro's going to go right through the middle. And you see just trying to hide a cover 2. And the problem is no one gets deep enough. Jordan Lewis. But that's really Lewis's fault. The safeties, Derek Carr. Look at this, Jim.
He just went over 300, by the way.
Ball game, it's over.
That's what this says.
Usually when you
Our
throw
production team really quick to get that one up. Very timely. Well done.
They've been counting it down.
Handoff Jacobs to the 11.
Usually when you throw for over 300 yards,
it goes the other way.
Yeah, over time, yes, because you usually don't win 5 in a row and you lose all the other games you don't. But this team relies on Derek Carr, and he's lived up to it over and over again, especially this year. And right now, 3-game losing streak.
Yes.
They are desperate for a win. And on the road, going in here against what has been a juggernaut at times this year, the Cowboys offense, defense playing outstanding too. This is really impressive right now. Now, to win, you need to punch it in here at the end. Otherwise, you're going to get an opportunity.
They go with Jacobs. Stutter step move, jump cut, and another penalty.
Holding. Offense, number 87. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
Second holding call against the Raiders on this drive.
Right there, you'll see the call. 87. Another. Well, you can't choke him. That's a penalty. I know that. But I mean, the halftime crew today talked about it, right? Coach Cowher, you see how they're playing you, and they say, okay, if they're going to call it tight, We can't use as many hands. We got to get our hands out, get them in the right spot. But come on, guys, not like it's a different day. Refs are different.
2nd and 16. And Carr had to get rid of it, had to unload it, because, again, Parsons was in his face, as well as Tristan Hill.
This was just a meet at the quarterback, and ouch.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by Carr standing in, taking some of these hits, regardless of whether it's complete or not. But that's what you have to do in these key moments. Zeke's trying to get the crowd ball pumped up.
How about that? Got your star running back stirring the crowd. We need your support, he says. Let's go. 3rd and 16.
Got to make sure right here no one gets down the field in that middle area.
It's Renfro cutting, trying to find a way to create some room. He's down at the 10, and they'll come out and try to match the field goal of Zerline just a short while ago.
Good job by the Cowboys defense. They got deep, weren't going to give up the plays down the middle, the outside. Rally, tackle, make them kick the field goal. After that big play, that's what you got to do. Give your team a chance.
Dorrance Armstrong, who came back and made that tackle to end it. 4th and 7 at the 12. So this will be a 30-yard attempt for Carlson. Cole on the hold, and that kick with another marker down.
Illegal formation. Defense number 98 was covering the snapper. This penalty's declined as Las Vegas has chosen to accept the 3 points. The field goal is good. Timeout.
Again, it had been 4th and 2. 8 is huge.
Can't line up over the center. They obviously did, but you're right. 4th and 2. You've got to go ahead and kick the field and take it.
Kicking off from the 35. Would like to get a touchback here after what they saw Pollard can do already in this half. And that is not going to be returned. Pete Callander and Robert Lawton, we honored them last night. And they've been a great part of what we've been able to do all these years. The Super Bowls, the NFL on CBS. Here are the Cowboys going hurry up on 2nd down from the 30.
I tell you, I feel fortunate working with these people. I'm thankful that I have this team. Unbelievable. These people, you guys don't know, they work hard, great people, wonderful.
Got a 3rd and 5 just like that, real quick. The Cowboys.
Right?
Yeah.
It shows you, though, the talent and ability of the Cowboys. You know, they have so much depth, so much talent, but all of a sudden you lose 2 receivers. These throws get a little bit tougher. It's just not as easy, right? They're open a lot, and now all of a sudden stuff's getting more difficult, and you got a ton of space up top right here.
Yeah, Trufant was late to get over there. Prescott brought down. That is Ngakoue getting the Raiders' first sack of the game. His 8th of the season.
Well, this is a huge play. Go ahead and play this, but watch out to the right here. And pause right now. Right there. That's perfect right there. Dak should have thrown that ball to Schultz on the right. And once he decided to run, he just didn't see behind him.
Ngakoue with a sack in 5 consecutive games.
Yeah,
There's Renfro. A little hop, step, and look at him from traffic to the 26. So Raider possession up 8 with 7 minutes and a little change.
Ngakoue with that last sack had a huge impact. That was shocking. A 3-and-out right there. And, you know, the Cowboys, everything's been great, or it's like, oh, not good at all. And it still feels that way.
There's Jacobs plowing ahead for a couple.
But, like, when they're rolling on all cylinders, Jim, everything just looks like, here we come. A wave is at you. We can go anywhere on the field with anyone. Now, all of a sudden, today, it's like, no, you got to do things correctly everywhere. It's like you don't just automatically get to be off and things still work almost. And that's how most teams play in the NFL. But the Raiders, no turnovers today, Jim.
Not a one.
That's how you go on the road and win. That's the #1 thing coaches preach going into it. They've done that. And right now, if they can somehow take a little bit of a drive and go down and kick a field goal, you can actually stun the Cowboys here today.
2nd and 8. And that's a nice, again, turnaround pivot move by Zay Jones. That's twice that's worked. Picks up another first down, gain of 9. And using that clock, remember the Cowboys burned a timeout early in the third quarter, so they've got only 2.
That's just a poor leverage for Diggs coming in on the tackle. Seems to me like some guys are tired. You know, defensive is like they take bad angles. You're holding, you know what I mean? It's like play a lot of plays.
Well, they've been out there a lot. 31-22 time of possession.
There you go.
Edge to the Raiders.
Hey, Walrus, New York. Walrus, New York.
It's the Walrus, New York, Jim. It's the annexation of Puerto Rico. Here it comes.
First down. Run ahead to Jacobs.
How come Wally likes to walk to New York? Run to New York, I guess. Just a simple run. It's amazing the verbiage they'll come up with. Say 12 words
What
and
was
then
your
just
favorite?
hand it off.
What was your favorite? What did you come up with?
My favorite play?
No, your favorite verbiage.
Oh.
The line, what'd you call?
Oh,
what was your Omaha?
It was Jim Nantz. Jim Nantz.
Yeah, okay.
Jim Nantz, go. Jim Nantz, stop. Remember those?
I do. From a lot of Thanksgivings past.
Candace is mad at me. My wife is upset. Set up. She loves it. Okay, enough with that. Let's get back to this. So she's definitely mad at me now.
If there's any question. 2nd and 6. And they're going to have a big third down play coming up. Move it inside 5 minutes. Guess what? Another flag.
No, that
would be another holding call on the Raiders. Let's
Holding.
see. Yep.
Offense number 75. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
Are they just calling it differently? I mean, that's 3 on the last 2 possessions for the Raiders, offensive holding.
At least both teams are getting these chippy little ones, right? It's like, we'll see 75 right down here. He's going to go ahead. And it's just enough to maybe make a difference, but all these have felt like that.
That one
just
actually,
a little bit. That looks like one.
That did look like one. It's actually the 4th of the game, 3rd of the quarter. So now this changes everything. It's 2nd and 16.
Both teams are going to have a right to complain after. They're like, oh, gosh. But it's like, hey, it's fair. Here we go.
Over to Zay Jones. Pauses for a moment to survey and dives down at the 35. Just give him 4. So 3rd and long coming up for the Raiders.
Ngakoue got the big one on 3rd and 5 on Dak Prescott on the other side. You never know if you're going to get the ball back, because you're going to need help. This league, we give quarterbacks a ton of credit, but it's a team game. And at the end of the day, you need to get this ball back. You need your defense. Zeke says we need the crowd to get going, because if they get this first down, it gets away from you very quickly.
It's where he used to like to go to Waller, who's out for the game. Now he's going deep. Going deep, a rainbow that falls incomplete. Zay Jones was down there for the Raiders, and the Cowboys had it well defended with the likes of Malik Hooker and Anthony Brown.
That ball was in the air forever. Here's Deshaun Jackson on the other side. I actually thought he should have thrown down on Diggs, and Deshaun Jackson's asking for a penalty, screaming. But if they don't throw you the ball, sometimes you don't get the penalty.
Wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world for the Raiders had that been intercepted, because it was contact. He would have been down right there. It would have been better than a long punt.
You're exactly right.
Ball down
You're exactly right. That's a good point. That is okay.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
Well, again, you got the biggest leg right now in the league this year. #1 in gross average. And that's A.J. Cole, his 3rd year out of NC State. Remember, he had that 68-yard punt in the first half.
Yeah.
Maybe he just needed a little bit more room to operate with.
That's it. I want to go back to the end zone so I can keep it in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way to go. Well, I think they were late getting up, and so it's like, good job not using the timeout there, actually. To me, if it's like, oh, shoot, we're not going to be able to get it off, be smart. Don't waste it over 5 yards on this.
Line drive kick. But it's a long one, and it's making Wilson go back to the 17 to get it. He's able to break away from 2 Raiders, and then Lee takes him out of bounds. Good piece of running by Wilson. 54 yards, the punt, 14-yard return. Cowboys start at the 31.
Starting 4 by 1, move a guy over, they're in zone. Okay, you can hand off, but you're not going to at this point because you got to go quick.
There's the pass to Noah Brown, trying to go laterally with it to find an opening. Wasn't there. Tackled down by Levitt. The last time the Cowboys came back from double-digit deficit on Thanksgiving, Tony engineered that comeback from 14 down in 2013 against the Raiders. Here's Prescott's pass again, just like what we saw earlier in this half. Gallop over the shoulder with Hayward, the defender, and this one is another huge gain for the Cowboys, 32 yards.
Unbelievable throw by Dak Prescott. Great catch by Gallup. Keeping his toes in for sure. Yep. I mean, that was a dime on the outside.
Got Ngakoue down. Well, not for long. If you can get up like that, you're fine.
He's got 19 pressures just in the last 4 games. I mean, can't give enough credit to Rod Marinelli getting this defensive line to play like they have. That was a weakness years ago. That's a strength of this team now. The number one thing to look at. Gus Bradley, got to give him credit. Defensive coordinator. These guys know their system. Rich Bisaccia. But right now, that play, wow, here we go. Dak Prescott, can he bring them back in a big game? The number 1 seed is on the line here today.
That's right. It's huge.
If they lose this, I don't think they can get it. If they win this, I think they can still get it. You get the math there?
I got it. And it could be coming down to a 2-point try again for the Cowboys. Who knows?
Which to me, when you have 2 timeouts, I still want to go hurry up because I want to give myself just a little wiggle room in case
you fail on the 2.
Yeah, right? So it's like I want to score around that 2-minute mark. Take what they give you, but be aggressive.
From the 32, 2nd and 9. Down the field they go, and it is a touchdown to Dalton Schultz.
Aggressive they were. Split safety means the safeties are wide, and Dalton Schultz is one-on-one right down the middle on Perryman. See the Jones family looked bleak a little bit ago, didn't it? That 3rd down, Vegas had the ball. One-on-one right down the middle, Dalton Schultz.
Very underrated tight end.
Dak says thank you. And right now, 2-point conversion, Jim. The Cowboys in the season are 3 for 7. When running it, Jim, they score all the time. When they pass it, no. So you should run it.
Going for the tie.
But they're not going.
Fakes, throws. It's Schultz again, and this game is tied at 30.
What a play design. This is Kellen Winslow all day. Here's going to come. Watch out here. This is a pick. He's going to go up here, but you can't really hit him too much. Boom. Right out into the flat. Dalton Schultz. Watch this. It's simply make 24 run right through him. And that's... And I meant Kellen Moore, by the way. But great play call, and Dak Prescott engineers the drive. There's Kellen Moore.
Prescott goes over 300 yards on that drive. His numbers now, look at this. In the quarter, 161 yards. That's half the total for the day for him has come in this quarter.
And right now, they've both done a really good job. No turnovers, that's the biggest thing.
And that's going to be a touchback delivered by Zerline.
But if you're going to get in the playoffs, Raiders,
this is it.
And if you're going to get the number 1 seed, it's your quarterback has to stand in, take big-time hits, throws under pressure, read it correctly, get to the right play, and send your team going forward with a win here today. Dak Prescott just did it. Carr did it earlier.
He's done it all game long.
He's going to do it again.
Yeah, he's done it all game long. He's done it for 57 minutes.
Yep.
But now 1 drive to possibly win it.
And guess which one matters the most now? This one.
The next one.
The next one.
Comes out firing. Lofts it. Wide open. It's Deshaun Jackson. He falls down at the 45, but got another flag down.
This will be on the Cowboys for sure. There's only 2 men. It's probably Anthony Brown. I'm going to say it's 30. He's the only guy out there.
29-yard pickup.
A ton of penalties. Rough day today for Anthony Brown. That's not going to matter, though.
There is no foul on the play. The result of the play is a first down. Please reset the play clock to 40 seconds. The clock will run on my signal.
What a drive starter for the Raiders. A 29-yard pass play.
Well, what happened? Zay Jones is running down the field, and I think he accidentally tripped, and Brown was around him. It's a good pickup, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. How about that for your first play coming out?
Well, now you got a chance to control the clock. You pick up one more first down. Again, the Cowboys can stop it twice, plus the 2-minute warning. Look at Deshaun Jackson. Over 100 yards on 3 catches. A couple of DPIs he's also brought on. And a touchdown. The game's first. Jacobs. Again, doing a masterful job of finding just the tiniest crease to make something out of seemingly nothing. Picks up 6.
I would not run a play before the 2-minute warning here. I would actually take this down. I know it sounds like it's a good idea here, but you're just giving the Cowboys time if you have an incompletion and then a stop. Oh, they got him offside, though. I would have never snapped that. You try to draw them offsides. They obviously were going to snap it, which I think was a poor decision, but huge bonus for the Raiders now. That's a first down.
False start. Offense, number 68, the center.
Wow.
It's a 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Might have moved his head, Andre James.
It's a huge mistake.
Center.
You never had, so the center does a head bob normally, and they're going to snap it. See that? That's not a penalty. That's not a penalty. That happens every play.
Do that all the time.
That's how you do it. Like, so you have to do something to show your team you're snapping a ball. So what happens is you head bob every time on the road. Wow, that's a terrible call right there.
Wow. I mean, what a shift that is from the 5 yards the other way to 5 yards back. Now 2nd and 10.
You just head bobbed again. No call.
Renfro out of bounds at the 38. And we've reached the 2-minute warning. Jordan Lewis shaken up on the tackle. 2 minutes to go in a Thanksgiving thriller in Dallas. Tied at 30. Who's going to be there at the end? 3rd and 3. If they fail to do anything here, would they call on Carlson from 56 yards?
Well, you got man-to-man coverage, so you're going to pick out some of your best players. You got to go across the field. Stuff going right across the field.
Here's Carr. Across the middle. No flag intended for Moreau. Again, Parsons was creating havoc in the backfield and forced the quarterback to get rid of it.
And this is all Parsons. See this man-to-man? You can't run a route that just stops right in the middle, a little one. You got to run across the field and go. But look at Parsons on your bottom, 11. The ball has to come out because your stud draft pick just allowed you a chance to maybe win this game. Go ahead, Jib.
Career long 55. This is 56. Again, if you miss, Cowboys get the ball at the 46. This for the lead with 1:57 to go. Carlson's kick. And it is good.
Oh, my gosh, what a game.
What a kick.
The game's over if he misses that because you're giving the ball back. Where? The
46.
6-yard line right there with 1:52. They just need 10 yards, basically. Wow. What a clutch kick. On Thanksgiving, you know your family's watching, everybody. Are you
Everybody's
a good kicker
watching.
or no? Well, yes, I am. Carlson, let's see what you do when you make it. Let's see. What does he do? Yeah, that's me.
He looks like he was absolutely resolute, was never going to miss it. 4 out of 5 on the year from 50 plus. And Carr able to drive them in field goal range with that drive starter, that pass play to Sean Jackson. And now the Cowboys, Mark Davis.
We were never going to miss it.
What he knew all along.
That was it.
Foregone conclusion. 1:52, a lot of time left. Cowboys with 2 timeouts.
Still a ton of time. I can't believe what just happened. I mean, when it was 27, 22,
22.
It was like, no, it was some other score. What was it? Was it 27, 20?
We had 27-19. We had 27-22.
It's been a lot. Anyway,
30-22 and 30-30.
You just
now
didn't
33-30.
You wouldn't think 5 minutes ago it was going to be 33-30 and Dak had the ball to go in with 1:52. 2 timeouts. This is an eternity. You definitely could do it.
Again, the one time they didn't get the touchback, they paid the penalty with Pollard taking it the 100.
He just made some insanely high-level throws on that last drive. He does that again, they're going to win this game. Remember, No turnovers, no sacks on these type of drives. You got 4 downs if you need it, obviously.
There's the pass and tried to thread it, and the Raiders converge, including Trufant. Gallup was the target.
Wow, this was, you're going to see, watch Trufant. It's a great play right here, but that is very dicey.
By the way, Ngakoue is back out there. Remember, he was shaken up. Then he did the somersault to get off the field, so he's fine. They're going to need him.
This first play, like the first and second play are huge, and it's like you can't have another incompletion, and then everything gets very tight and restricted. You just need to get something moving forward right here.
2nd and 10. Wilson has the first down. Cowboys hurry up. Plenty of time. That was an 11-yard gain.
Yeah, and it's just a good design, empty formation, pressure. I'd get up a little tighter. Listen, you can bail out of there, but don't get up these easy ones underneath if you're the Raiders.
And they do go underneath. It's going to be a pickup of about 4 as Noah Brown gets thrown down by Abram. Give him 5.
Plenty of time. No reason to use the timeouts yet. Keep going up on the ball, and if they give you the short stuff, throw it.
Prescott, they take the short stuff again to the 43. Pickup of 2. Now you got a 3rd and 3. Now you got a 3rd and 3 with a minute to go, clock running.
Take your time. Get to a good play here, and if you're on the side of the Raiders, be aggressive. Now you can try and make this into a one-play game.
Oh, and some pass. Raiders went for the interception, and it's caught instead by Gallup. Levitt tried to make a play on the ball, and it went right through his hands.
I can't believe, this is such a close one. Dak Prescott fits it in there. You're going to see right up there.
Timeout called by Dallas.
Oh,
wow.
I think Gallup was even surprised. It got right past their hand.
Yep.
Big time throw by Dak Prescott.
Again, coming up, the State Farm post-game show. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cowher, sitting on the edge of their seats back in the studio at the Broadcast Center in New York. Coming up on the State Farm post-game show. Cowboys at the 39 of the Raiders. What do you look for right here, Tony?
I'd stay aggressive, like you're in field goal, but you got to get closer. Just play as if you're still just matriculating down the field.
There's the pass, and again, it's caught by Wilson. We got a player hurt. It's Perriman of the Raiders.
So this is going to be a timeout for the Raiders as soon as someone's hurt this late.
Each team now has 1 remaining.
Which isn't the worst thing to give your team a break, because now you're probably not going to have time getting the ball back. So Coach Bisaccia is like, keep them out of the end zone. They're already in field goal range.
Bisaccia, so proud and honored and grateful to be the coach of this team. From Yonkers, New York, to Yankton College up in South Dakota, to a day on Thanksgiving where he's leading the Raiders and trying to pull the upset on the road. But the Cowboys have a first down at the 29. And a whistle.
Ooh, what is this?
Medical timeout.
It's got Hobbs is coming off the field.
Because someone called in and said
upstairs said they've got to check him. Pointing to Huckley, pointing to his own head, saying that it's been called down. Exactly.
It's an ATC spotter from upstairs who sees that, and
what a time.
Yeah, that's a big one.
What a time with 37 seconds.
Sometimes they might even change your call depending upon how many defensive backs you have up and people ready. But
Waller watches. Prescott ready to go. 207 yards passing in this quarter alone.
You'll have a chance of someone deep there, but the Raiders should not allow it.
To the sideline. Elliott out of bounds after the short gain. 32 seconds.
Great job, Dak, getting out of bounds and just getting a first down or 2. You got 1 timeout. This is actually a really interesting spot here because the Raiders aren't giving up a touchdown, theoretically, right? So you're going to be able to throw it underneath because they're already in field goal range, so you can use it. To me, you're going to go up here, run someone off, have someone come out.
High snap. Prescott flings it and defended by Trufant, denying Schultz. Schultz looks around and says, did he have an arm on me? No flag this time.
Well, I showed you that side, Jim, but they just do it over here. And you just look. give the Raiders credit. Even though they're protecting the end zone, they're not threatened by the tight end and the running back going deep, right? Cowboys need to do the same thing on the other side, but it's 3rd and 8.
And
tough call.
28 seconds. Crosby and Ngakoue would love to pounce. The move Gallup to the near side. Here's Dak. Down the middle. No flag.
Oh my goodness, they ran the one-on-one coverage again, but Perriman wasn't on him this time. You remember earlier, right down the middle this time they put Robertson, but Schultz says get out of here, and he's kind of open, but I didn't see much of.
Zerline comes out, Tony.
There.
45 yards. It's going to be right on the number. 45 yards to tie it at 24 seconds.
Would you ice him and call a timeout?
You've got one left. Or do you save it if he makes it and try to do something after the kickoff?
Good idea.
Here's the kick from 45 for the tie. Zerline delivers. Carr and company, only 19 seconds left in regulation with one timeout. Zerline clutch with that one.
Wow. And what a like fourth quarter, right, for the Cowboys. I mean, both teams are playing. This is really good football. Dak Prescott, I mean, you're going to look up and be like, oh my gosh, look at his numbers. This game's incredible. And it's like he's just picked it up so much late, especially, and Jerry Jones loves it. On Thanksgiving, you guys are getting a real treat.
Oh, man.
What a game.
Cowboys have never led in this game.
Ugh.
They've tied the game twice in the last 3 minutes. You got Carr at 365 yards passing, Prescott at 369. They've been running parallel numbers most of the day, 4 on 4, if you will, answering back and forth. My goodness.
Part of that is just, as the game wears on, defensive players, short week, That's what's happened today a little bit with the penalties and missed tackles. But the other thing is the scheme. You can only get so exotic on a short week. So it's like if you're a division opponent, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. You play these guys a million times, but when you're not, quarterbacks usually can have a field day on Thursdays if, independent, you have a good offensive line. But if you do, you can.
Kenyon Drake doesn't even attempt to go back and get that one. He was standing at the 10. Carr comes out. What do you do now, Tony?
Well, this is really...
Do you try to do something? You got the one timeout. You got Deshaun Jackson.
I personally, they're going to down it. They're just going to go up here and down it.
Yeah, you can see it
That's
now.
what's going to happen. But it's one of those, how much time and your team and who you are and what against them, it's like one timeout. I don't think you can actually say we're more likely to get in field goal range than they are to get an interception.
To turn it over.
Or turn it over, and then they're automatically in field goal range. So I would down that and move on.
Sixth overtime game all time. Thanksgiving for the Cowboys.
Do you want me to take you back to a game or a play that I thought was no one's going to remember, that I think was the difference between winning and losing? Take it to 2 minutes if you're the Raiders instead of the false start with the head bob. Just take it to 2 minutes. Now you got 2nd and 3. And after that, you'll have a minute and 20.
Each team will get a possession unless the first team scores a touchdown or there's a defensive score. If the first team does not score, we're in sudden death. Fourth quarter timing rules apply. Each team will have 2 timeouts. All reviews are initiated by the booth. And if at the end of the 10-minute period it's still tied, the game ends in a tie. Las Vegas, you're still the visitor. You'll call the toss. That's a tails and a head. Tails, heads. What's your call, sir?
Gonna be heads.
He's called heads. Heads is the call.
That didn't sound very...
It is a tails.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Dallas has
just
won the
felt
toss.
like,
and will receive. Which way would you like to kick?
Kind of made up his mind.
Oh, no one told me what to do.
Tails. It's heads.
You're out of there. Next time we're going with someone else.
Cowboys football. To start the overtime in a moment. Your overtime rules. The Cowboys are waiting the kick of Carlson. Touchdown or safety on the first possession wins the game. 2 timeouts per team. No coaches' challenges. All reviews initiated by the booth upstairs. Here we go. It's kind of a pooch kick here. Angle to Pollard, who broke their hearts earlier, but not this time. Down there in a hurry is Hobbs. Remember, Hobbs was taken off the field and checked. Comes back out and makes a stop here on the kickoff to begin the overtime.
This is such a huge play because it looked like a Cowboy penalty as well.
Illegal block at the back.
Yep.
Receiving team number 57.
Oh, wow.
Half the distance to the goal.
7-8 yard
First
line.
down.
So this is where, if you do kick off, right, and you could somehow pin them back like that, you are literally right before them, 57 with a little bit of the block in the back. But this is where you could literally get a 3 and out and be at the 50-yard line, 45-yard line, already in field goal range. Right. It's not the worst thing for Vegas if they can get a play. But usually, to get a 3 and out, you got to win on first down right here.
From the 7. We saw Dallas beat New England in overtime on a touchdown throw to C.D. Lamb, who's not up today, and that's a gain of about 3 over to Zeke. What these 2 quarterbacks have done today, the show they've put on without their best targets, it's been amazing. They're both approaching 400 yards.
It really is, and it shows you just the talent level and in the league, the depth of the quarterback. But here we go, Jim, right here. A little bit of miscommunication on defense.
2nd and 8. He's trying to set up a screen, and they bring down Elliott at about the 13. That's Hankins, and now you got yourself a crucial 3rd down coming up if you're Dallas.
I don't know why, but I just feel like I'm going to jump ahead here. I'd run it, and then I'd go for it and run it again.
Wow.
Or I would throw it and go for it again. I'm just saying, to punt here, and the other team just needs a field goal, what are you going to get them at? 50-45? It's like...
Let's see what Kellen Moore sent in.
This is a huge play for the Dallas Cowboys.
Here's the pressure. Forces Prescott to roll out, throws, and it's incomplete.
Of all the great throws Dak has had today, this is one he's going to want back because...
Tried to hit the backup wide receiver again with the starters out today. Noah Brown.
He was open on this play, and Dak knows. Look at this. It's just down and away behind him, and he has all the room out in front.
Still catchable.
I don't know. I mean,
6 catches for 53, but they needed that one as a 7th.
You got to punt on 4th and 4. But if it's 4th and 1, would you go for it?
No, you got to punt it here. And there is the punt. By Anger. Ooh, what a punt it is. Wow. Drives Renfro back to the 28. Crowd wants it. They got it. They're going to have a block, an illegal block call against the Raiders.
Wow, Jim, you were right.
Take them back inside the 20. Talk about changing field position. It's going to be called on Amik Robertson after the 59-yard punt.
15 to 15.
That's 72 yards.
Illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 21. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down, Las Vegas. The next team to score wins the game.
Well, the Raiders, I mentioned the Cowboys won an overtime game in New England. Here is the call on Robertson.
It's so dumb. Just that right there. It's going to get called every time. And at the end of the day, this is where you just tell those guys, don't do anything silly. These games all come down to...
It's amazing how often it happens.
I can keep saying at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, it always comes down to this right here, over and over. Silly.
The Raiders opened the season with an overtime win over the Ravens, 33-27. That punt total netted out, Tony, 65 yards with the penalty involved. From the 22. Going to swing it over. And Jacobs lowers the head and gets a pickup of about 8.
Well, I would always punt if I was going to for sure get a net of 72 yards. I'm thinking net of 38-40. They're going to get the ball at the 45-50, and it's like they're already almost in field goal range.
It was an amazing job by Anger not to be overlooked.
It's exactly right. If the Cowboys can somehow win this game, you got to go back to the punter right there.
Carlson dreaming of having the chance to win it on Thanksgiving. 2nd and 2.
Dak with all those big-time throws in the 4th quarter, and then misses one there.
Look at this, breaking it into the secondary. It's Jacobs to the Cowboy 49. Got a big lead block by Daniel Helm, and it goes for 21.
No one thinks you're going to come out and just run the ball right at him here. Teams are tired. I love the call. You got to give Greg Olsen credit. Great job today. Wow.
Raiders over 500 yards of offense.
Well, they're right back to where I thought if they punted. Greg Olsen, we just talked about right there. Impressive job. Now you got to get tight, right? Look at the Cowboys. They're going to get up on these guys. All this stuff right in here. You can't give them any room.
Run it again. That time they had the answer with Micah Parsons making the quick tackle and a loss of 1 on Jacobs.
Watch Parsons. Watch this, okay? I'm going to have you pause this, you guys, right here. Hit play, and then pause it in 3, 2, 1. He has this gap, and he goes that way. Jim, that's insane. He goes from the inside back. He runs 3 different gaps over and over again. This guy is a stud, and they need him to have a big play right here.
2nd and 11. 2nd and 11 from the 50. Carr in trouble, and the Cowboys get to him. It's once again Parsons. Just set the Cowboy rookie record for sacks. With his 9th of the year, couldn't have come at a bigger time.
And he might have just set the record for possibly winning a game by yourself in the overtime with the first play. Great job, multiple gaps, and then he just has a great rush right to the quarterback and just bull rushes. What a big-time play. Here you go. The game's on the line, Jim. Give us your best call today.
3rd and 18. That lost 7. Watch Jackson on the near side. Carr was looking at him. Now he goes the other side. Down the field to Zay Jones. That's going to generate another flag on Anthony Brown. For the 4th time today, he's flagged for pass interference. And the Raiders are in position with that penalty to win the game. They're in field goal range for sure.
Of all the days, 0 penalties coming in. Anthony Brown 4 today, and none bigger than that.
Pass interference. Right, defense number 30. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul, and an automatic first down.
Never turned around. Zay Jones caught his helmet.
Wow, that was a huge play.
Now, what do you do?
You're a fan. If you're a Raider fan, you're ecstatic right now, and if you're a Cowboy fan, dejected. What a football game. You got to protect it a little bit right here, right? Just hand this ball off. Go ahead, cut back a little bit to the left.
That's Jacobs fighting hard. Off the Hills tackle just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Can you bring Gene in? Because I want to hear what he thinks about that pass interference, Jim.
Gene, the call?
Yeah, when you're not playing the ball like that, if the defensive back can get his head around, then he has a little more leeway for some contact. It might seem too technical if his head's around and he's playing the football. When you don't get your head around, they become much more technical about any contact or any restriction. And it's minor here, but he doesn't show that he's playing the football whatsoever.
That was a 33-yard penalty on 3rd and 18. 2nd and 10. They'll get that much closer for Carlson with Drake running it to the 20. And here would be 38 yards.
That was a great explanation by Gene.
As it was.
And I'm glad we brought him out because if you're a Cowboy fan, you're like, where's the penalty, right? Because it's not like he did some of the other stuff or pushing or holding.
We'll run another play here. Sometimes you kick it on 3rd down in case there's some sort of mishandling on the field goal attempt. And you can fall on it and still have life, but they're going to run a play 3rd and 6.
I think you can also... Oh, my goodness. Did he get it?
Nope. He's going to be a couple yards short as Diggs loses his helmet, and it's only going to be about a 34-yard kick as the ball was advanced to the 16. Wow, the Raiders coming in with a 3-game losing streak. Hadn't put up any more than 16 points the last 3 weeks. Looking for 3 more that would put him at 36 for the win. Would put him at 6-5 on the season. Would keep their hopes very much alive.
Oh, yeah. They're right in the mix.
Damage Dallas's seeding hopes down the line.
I mean, then you got to start thinking for Dallas. I mean, that's 3 out of 4 they've lost.
It would be.
That's shocking for this, but here we go.
And 3 out of 4, by the way, the 3 losses all to the AFC West.
Yeah,
if
2 of
that
them
were
at
the case.
home. Oh, you're right. AFC West.
So here we go. 34 yards for Carlson to clinch it. Oh, and a whistle first. He absolutely drilled that kick.
Oh, timeout, Cowboys, I'm guessing.
Before the snap, false start. Offense number 75. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
Oh, man. As a kicker, right? It's not even the timeout one. It's
Please reset the game clock to 4:31.
Your own little buddy over there, your teammate, just iced you. You just did it. Go do it again.
Yep.
Right tight end right here, 75. Yeah.
It's just a little flinch. Not much there, but it's still inside of 40. 39 yards.
Yeah. It's a lot harder now, Jim. I can tell you right now, you thought you already did it.
Now, Carlson, the biggest kick of his career. Cowboys come busting across. That was Goodwin.
Interesting.
Unabated to the quarterback. Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 29. 5-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
I don't dislike that for the Cowboys. I'm like, you got to try and jump it at the exact moment, right? And we saw a game earlier this year that Steelers might have actually blocked it. It was so close because they had I think they knew exactly when the snap was going to go, so they need to do that again. But
that was Minka Fitzpatrick that day. Here comes again Carlson. This is becoming like a dance step for him for the 3rd time, standing over it.
Just wiped off sweat, Jim. Oh no!
And the Cowboys jumped. Ball hits the upright, but the Cowboys again with Goodwin going early
before the snap.
And that'll be a first down.
To the kicker, number 29, defense. This 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Oh, no, now you got to bring your offense back on.
I mean, Carlson could turn around and say, hey, guys, I got this.
You can't do it a second time.
It's like it'd be the 4th time, really, in some respects. Although that one hit the upright, and he's still out there. Carr wanted it, but they get that much closer.
Oh, they're just going to kick it right now.
Yeah, just 29 yards. Closer than a PAT.
Ooh, I don't know if I love this. I mean, the percentages are good. Everyone's out there and everything. But you just let a guy 3 or 4 times start to get the rhythm of your snap.
All right.
Right? The movement?
Let's reset. One swig for
it should be fine.
Mark Davis, as both teams have so much on the line with one kick. Here we go. This time for real. And it is delivered. Good. The Raiders win it.
It was for real that time. You were right. What a game. Dallas, great job in the 4th quarter coming back, but too many penalties. Both teams. Dak Prescott wants that one throwback in overtime. They had the ball, but both quarterbacks, I thought, played really well today.
What a crazy day. Just a glorious football game.
Remember that extra point? It would never matter, right?
That's right. Well,
the field goal kick would
so many
they
things
never
happen.
matter. It never comes out.
Forget Carlson, man. He was standing out for like 5 minutes, having to face again the thought of what is this going to result in? Can I deliver the goods when I have to? And he does. Tough loss for Dak and Dallas. They drop back to 7-4.
Enjoying it with you, big guy. That was great. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy to have you.
I know you're heading home for a great feast with all your family. Have a great one.